こいつは楽しめそうだ。
Fighters ready. Engage.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Hoovy 186 back again with another podcast, the Overrated Podcast, episode 37. I am your co-host Hoovy 186, and this is my partner in crime, Traditionalist 101. Introduce yourself.
Yes, the traditionalist 101. Y'all know how important it is to hold on to tradition. Uh Lately have my internet was driving me crazy, was driving you crazy, and I'm pretty sure it drove the review was crazy because I had people messaging me saying that it was awful. But I'm here to announce that that will no longer be an issue. I made sure that Comcast, Infinity, whoever they are, fix the issue, with the cable. Um, I got a new modem, and I made sure that the Ethernet cable. And here's what happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
I told Yoshi this when I was at his house,
Mm-hmm.
and pretty much what happened was when it comes to Apple, if your Wi-Fi is on, for some reason it completely ignores the Ethernet cable.
Wait, what happened?
It completely ignores the Ethernet cable.
If you have Wi-Fi.
On, yes.
Yeah.
If
Okay.
if you turn your Wi-Fi on, it basically disregards the Ethernet cable and
Yeah. Oh
just
yeah. 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 That makes sense. That makes sense.
which was very strange because usually from at least from all the times that I've used regular PC, that when you hook up your Ethernet cable, it automatically detects that. From what I thought, but so what I had to do was I had to manually tell it to take the Ethernet cable connection. So I turned off the Wi-Fi, hooked up the Ethernet cable, and now, my goodness, the internet is fast, and I am completely satisfied. And I'm pretty sure right now you don't see any lagging or any latency, anything whatsoever. Correct?
No, we're good. No, right now we're doing good. Right now.
Good.
And
Excellent. Excellent.
And the only reason why we're late is because my computer decided to update when I specifically told it not to. So without my permission. So that took a minute, but other than that, everything's fine. Um, right now I'm just sharing the podcast. So just give me one moment. You can talk about right now. We're pretty much watching Boston and New Jersey right now. Boston's up by 13, pretty much with 54 seconds left on the clock, and 54 on the third quarter, and then obviously you have 12 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and then the next season is going to be over. So yeah, so
I
we'll
am
definitely be talking
definitely
about that.
I am definitely looking forward to talk about that because since it's going to be live, unfortunately we can't obviously show it live in the stream. But oh man, I think he just freaking dunked. But since this is going to be a live, podcast, obviously, and we could give a quick update of what's going on in the playoffs, and if they do get eliminated, we're obviously going to talk about that and
Hmm.
talk about their season. And I am absolutely looking forward to talk about that because I have a whole bunch to say about you when it comes to Kevin Durant.
All right. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how much he. I don't know how much he's. I don't know how much he has today, but obviously, he's had a bad series, and we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that.
Yeah. So, how was your weekend?
No, it was fine. It was fine.
Did anything interesting, anything exciting, or not really?
Nope, just same old, same old.
Same old, same. Well, I had to work on Saturday, which pissed me off. But I got some overtime, and I'm pretty sure my next check that's coming up this week is going to be nice and fat. And on Sunday, just a quick update. On Sunday, remember I said I went to my friend's house, Yoshi,
Mhm.
and I basically helped him pick up a coffee table for his mom.
Mhm.
So we did that, and then afterwards we played video games. Now we played, SNK Chaos,
Mhm.
Calcum vs SNK Chaos.
How do you like that game?
Obviously, Calcum vs SNK 2 is way better, and
Mhm.
the first one is way better,
Yeah.
far better. I just prefer the Street Fighter, Capcom's style,
Mhm.
or button layout far better than the you know um soft punch and fierce punch, while Capcom has all three. It really surprising how game completely changes just by either adding the medium punch or getting rid of the medium punch. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
It,
Pretty much.
it, it,
Pretty much what for those of you who don't know what SBC Chaos is SNK's version of is their version of the fighting game where it had their SNK characters and the Street Fighter characters as well. So
yes,
the art style is very different. It's it pretty much is what King of Fighters was from pretty much from 2000 from 94 to I want to say damn man it's hard to pinpoint a year. I'll probably say like 2002. The art style, the gameplay, or like the SNK gameplay has always been the same. Has always been the same with
yeah.
some with some additions and stuff like that. But that's what that is. And I think while the game is, and I agree with you, SNK 2 and the OG SNK, the Capcom version of those games are a lot better.
Yes.
I do think SBC Chaos is a good fighting game. I do like some of the I do like their interpretation of some of these Street Fighter characters, right? I
Do
do
you,
like some. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, so you didn't think it was a bad game like so many people thought it was, right?
No, no, it's just like Capcom versus SNK 2 was such a monumental game that
Masterpiece.
yeah, it's a masterpiece, and it's very hard for any game to come after that. You know what I mean? And it's like I said, I don't think it's a bad game. I just think that it's inferior to what 2 was in every single way, in my opinion.
Yeah, and just for everyone to know, I have a picture of here, real quick. Obviously, to our, going to Google. Do you mind showing it real quick? I have it on here.
What?
I have the picture of Kaga vs SNK 2. I just wanted to do a quick.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's up. Don't worry. It's up. People are seeing it right now.
Oh, you see it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So this is Capcom versus SNK 2, which is by far one of the greatest fighting games of all time, greatest collaboration fighting game of all time,
Hmm.
and the memories that I had with you. Um, I'm pretty sure you remember back in high school when it was you, me, Chen, and Jerry.
Hmm.
My goodness, fabulous time, because I remember it was just the three of us, and then I said, my goodness, I have to invite Havidel to play this game along with us. Like I had to invite you. Like
I don't. But the thing, I don't remember. I don't know if that was the first time I ever played SNK 2. I don't remember if that was the first time. But like I said, it was yeah. It's one of the greatest fighting games. It's one of my most important fighting games that I've ever played.
yes,
It's like it probably is the most played fighting game I ever played. Cause like I said, we played this. I had the game, you had the game. Like you said, we played it at Jerry's house. We played it every time in the break in the break room in BCC.
yeah,
They had this game in rotation. So yeah, so this is one of the greatest fighting games of all time.
absolutely, absolutely. And so back to to the story, I played Chaos, with Yosh,
Hmm.
and this is Chaos right here. As you can see, the art style is completely different,
Yeah, it's
completely.
very much it's very much SNK. Now
Yeah,
I will say this right. I think that if they I do think that if they decided to do, if SNK decided to do an SVC sequel, right,
Hmm.
and they use the art style of 13 KOF 13, not 14 and 15. I'm talking
Yeah.
about 13, the 2D sprite.
Yes.
I think people would really love that game.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. The only thing is though, I think the way how Capcom versus SNK 2 was made and how it was designed, it was easier for the SNK characters, to transition into the format how Capcom was, the Street Fighter character was. But I
Mhm.
think it was a little harder for people to adjust all the Street Fighter characters to play like SNK characters.
I agree. I agree with that. I agree with that.
Yeah, yeah. But other than that, I had fun with the game. And guess what? So we played, and he quit.
Mm.
Yoshi quit. He wanted to play something else. Then the next game that we played was Soul Calibur,
Hmm. Which
and
one?
the Dreamcast version, the first one.
The first one. Okay.
Yeah. So we played, Soul Calibur, and I think we won. I think four. I won like three in a row.
Hmm.
Then he won a couple matches. Then I won, and he wanted to quit that. He wanted to quit that game. So I made him quit on two games. Two games.
Hmm.
Then we played another fighting game. We played crap. What was the other fighting game that we played? We played Ninja Turtles Tournament Fighter.
Hmm.
We did a couple matches with that. He didn't want to play anymore. So I'm obviously in my feelings, and not in a positive way. In a positive way. And I'm saying to myself, look, I'm going to record everything, and I'm going to make sure that everyone in the group chat is aware that you are quitting. And I put a video that he was actually practicing. I don't know if you saw the video.
Hmm.
He was actually practicing so he could beat me. But then when we played Street Fighter 2, I'm not gonna lie, he tore me up.
Mm.
On Street Fighter 2, he destroyed me. He won like 49 straight in Street Fighter 2. But then once he decided to pick other characters, I had a nice winning streak going. I beat him a few times with Ryu, Ken, and especially Guile. I was beating him a lot with Guile. But
Hmm.
what he was mainly doing is using all these frame traps to where you basically gets frozen once you block a certain attack,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then you
Randy.
get
Randy.
grabbed.
Does, Randy does the same thing.
Yeah. And I'm just saying to myself, well, there's really nothing you could do after that. There's nothing you could do.
Hmm.
The only thing that you can do is try not to get frame trapped. And once I adjusted a little bit, I started winning. But overall, he won more on Street Fighter. But as far as everything else, it was all me. So yeah, I had a great weekend, and I'm going to definitely do another match with him maybe next week or the week after.
All right. All right. He owes me a matching Virtua Fighter. He's I don't know what's going. I'm sure he's busy, but yeah, he owes me some matching Virtua Fighter. Speaking of frame trapping, I feel like that's what Mike Tyson just did to this guy.
that
So
that's funny how you slide that in. Go ahead.
okay, let me see if I can find the video on Twitter. Let me see if I can find it.
Oh, I actually have it.
You have it, all right? Then yeah, you can do it. You can do it.
All right. Let me see. Let me go on Twitter.
Yeah, we're not gonna spend too much time on it. Just yeah, I figure it's something that had to be talked about.
Oh, absolutely,
It has to be talked
absolutely.
about
Like,
because I think
I,
yeah. Go ahead.
yeah, yeah. You go ahead.
No, I just think that it's one of those situations where even though you can say that he should not have done what he did, but the
Mm-hmm.
facts are is that if you're going to provoke somebody, you deserve to get your ass kicked. I'm just saying if you because I don't like I said we all know that violence is not the answer, right? Like we all know
Mm-hmm.
that, but I'll be damned if you're going to treat me like an internet troll, and you're not gonna get a response from me. You're definitely gonna get a response from me.
Yeah,
You're gonna get the response that you deserve.
absolutely.
So.
So now that I'm turning the music down.
Mhm.
Now with all that being said, this is pretty much what happened. So let me
I
oh,
mean,
oh crap, I forgot to share this. So let me share this real quick
mhm.
and share. All right, so let me know if you can see it.
Oh yeah, I got it.
And by the way, you said you sent the link, right? Did you send the link in the group chat or no?
Oh, not in the Signal one.
Which chat did you send it to?
The WhatsApp.
You didn't send it to me though.
Oh no, I got you. I got you. I'll
Yeah,
send
send
it.
it to me, so I'll send it to the people on my side.
Okay.
So while you're doing that, let me is it okay for me to put this on full screen or no?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
You don't know how to act. Tyson looking out, man.
Wait. Can I play the audio?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
That's crazy.
All right. So obviously, this guy here,
You don't know how to act.
he's sitting behind Mike Tyson,
Mhm.
and obviously, the quality, isn't really that good, but he's pretty much sitting, behind, Mike Tyson, and he's just constantly bothering this guy. He was clearly drunk.
Mhm.
He was clearly drunk, and for this guy, out of all people, out of all the celebrities, out of all the athletes, you want to go and harass one of the most dangerous men in this country, Mike Tyson. So look, yeah, let's just take a look.
Tyson looking out, man. That's crazy. Should have never gave you money.
What's going on, Malta? How you doing, bro? How you doing, bro? No,
So
like
Boy just got
no,
beat up up the road.
I forgot. I
Turn that
forgot,
way.
bro. Don't like I just
There you
remembered.
go. Turn that
Like
way.
so, I decided to send you. And plus, I know you're into the whole basketball thing. I know you're into the playoffs, and hopefully watching the game right now.
yeah,
So
yeah. So let me
Yeah, so
continue
you
playing.
Here you go. Trying to ask for autographs.
So he got destroyed. Look at this.
Hey. Hey, Mike, come on. Hey. Hey, Mike, come
you,
on.
Well,
you you could see.
but like, do you have like? 'Cause I didn't watch. I haven't watched the full video, right?
Mhm.
But was there is there a video where it shows him pretty much annoying Mike Tyson, right? Like it just pestering him. I think there's a video of that.
Yeah, there is. There is. I don't think I should have recorded that one,
Mhm.
but I completely forgot to show the part where he.
Right. I'm on Twitter right now. Let me see if
Oh,
I
okay,
can.
okay.
Let me see if I can find it. But I think what's his name? Malta said that this dude looked like Putin with a comb over. I do wish that that was Putin in that guy's place.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna say any more about that. So I don't want to. Like I said, I don't want to get.
Yeah.
I don't want to get. I don't want to get demonetized. Or not
Yeah.
demonetized, but I don't want to get. I don't want to get banned.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So yeah, he's just my goodness. I mean, again, the quality is not really that good, but you could see he is just attacking this dude.
I found the video. Hold on a second.
Okay. Let me stop this. All right.
All right,
So
I
now
found
it's your turn to share.
Okay. All right, give me 1 second.
Mhm.
Screen share. Okay. Does my Twitter pop up on your screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me blow this up. Let me
My boy just got beat up by Mike Tyson.
I'll
Turn
restart
that
it. Don't
way.
worry.
Yeah, he got fucked up. This is George talking to Mike Tyson, bro. This shit crazy, bro. Mike Tyson. Dog done got lit, man. He over here rapping with Tyson. Mike Tyson trying to give us some shrooms. He don't know how to act. Tyson looking out, man. This shit crazy as fuck. Should have never gave you his money.
Oh my gosh.
JetBlue, net flight. My boy just got beat up by Mike
Yeah,
Tyson.
the guy looks miserable, man.
He
Yeah, he
got what
got
he
fucked up.
deserved. He got what he deserved. Like,
Oh man.
and the funny thing is that it's not even about it's not even about who he did this to, right? It's not even about that. The problem is that you're annoying somebody. Wait a minute, what's going on? Oh, I'm trying to get my thing back on.
Hmm.
Hold on. Like you're annoying somebody on a flight, right? He just wants to be left alone. He just wants to sit down, get this flight over with, and then you have this. You said that he was high or drunk or whatever.
Yeah.
You have this dipshit drinking or whatever, annoying you. What are you supposed to do? Just let him annoy you? No, no. And to me, look, we all know that violence is not the answer. But I'll be damned if you're gonna fucking disrespect me right then and there. I'll be damned.
The yeah, yeah, same here. And once again, I'm pretty sure the guy can't. He can't. Well, he is stupid. I was gonna say he can't be that stupid, but clearly he is stupid. My issue is, I really do hope that no, he's not going to charge Mike Tyson. Like I really, because something tells me that a lot of these people that are, they're opportunists is what I want to say. A lot of these people are just opportunists. They want to be in the spotlight. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? Like they want to be in social media. They want to they want their video to go all viral, and they
Hmm.
just want, they're attention seekers, clout
Absolutely,
chasers,
absolutely.
and you want to disrupt somebody else's, you know, peacetime, if you will. Somebody, all he wants to do is just travel, do whatever he has to do. And if you wanted an autograph, I'm pretty sure he would have given you an autograph. If you wanted to, take a picture with him, he probably would have done that too. Because I've heard that he is actually a nice guy. He has humbled himself, especially after retirement.
Yeah,
So you want to harass the dude over and over and over and over and over again, and for what? Like seriously, what the hell were you thinking? One of the most dangerous men in this country, and you wanna, you wanna be on his bad side? Like, come on, dude. Like, you should know better than that. And I don't feel sorry for him at all. I don't. If he had a concussion, I don't feel sorry for him. If he had a broken nose, I don't feel sorry for him. If he had broken his jaw, I do not feel sorry for him whatsoever. He got what he deserved, just like how you said.
yeah. Like it's just people just acting like dipshits, and then they're stunned when when they get their asses kicked. Right? And the reason why you see so much trolling on the internet nowadays is because a lot of people are protected by the space that by their keyboard. They're protected. So that's why they can say what they want to say. They can harass people. They can do all this stuff behind the keyboard. But when they see someone one on one, they ain't gonna say nothing to them.
Right.
They ain't gonna say nothing to him. And that piece of shit got what he deserved from Mike Tyson. And I hope that the video shows that Mike Tyson was. I don't know what this guy is gonna do, but I hope that Mike Tyson doesn't get in trouble for this, because like you said, he, like, when you look at his, he lived a hard life, like Tyson. Like he lived a hard life, and it seemed to me, like you said, that he has humbled himself, that he has tried to rehabilitate his life and his career and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And to have someone just just outright just annoy him like that just to piss him off, he got what he deserved.
Absolutely.
He wanted to go viral. He went viral, and I hope that I just hope that Tyson doesn't get in trouble for it though. That's all I gotta say. So I'll give you the last word, and then we can move on.
Yeah, I don't want him to get in trouble either. Clearly, there's video footage that if the guy wanted to sue him, maybe he would probably win because they will say, well, his life wasn't in danger. And when you are a boxer, you know how they say that your hands are licensed.
Yeah.
Is
Or what?
is that a lifetime thing, even after retirement?
Uh, I don't know if it's a lifetime thing. It wouldn't surprise me if it was. It wouldn't surprise me if it was.
Okay, because I really had to ask that question because that would probably determine if he would get severe punishment because of it.
Yeah.
Because if that is licensed and you're not supposed to be hitting people, he could really face some serious charges if he decides to sue. You know what I mean? But he got what he deserved. I don't feel sorry for him. And let this be a lesson to everybody. If you are going to mess with someone and harass somebody and causing a major disturbance, don't get upset. Don't get all melancholy. Don't get all gloomy. Don't get all irate if the person decides to kick your behind. And that's exactly
Facts.
what Mike Tyson did. So good,
Facts.
good, good for Mike Tyson. I'm happy that he did it.
Facts. Me too. Anyway, let's get started. All right. So an update on the NBA playoffs, like we're saying, like we're watching the Nets and Celtics right now.
Oh my
Dragic
gosh,
just hit a three.
the
Yeah,
game is really
Dragic.
close right now.
Yeah, Dragic just hit a three off the
Oh,
window. So yeah, so it's a 3 point game. Boston's up. So we'll keep an eye. We'll keep an eye out for it.
oh man, that was a good
Mm-mm.
shot. Oh, that
Yeah,
was a
you're
good shot.
you're a little bit ahead. You're a little bit ahead of me. So
Oh, okay, my bad.
that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. All right. So first matchup we're gonna talk about is Phoenix and New Orleans. Right now, the series is tied 2-2 right now. Pretty much New Orleans put it to them.
Yeah.
Kind of playing. They're bothering Chris Paul immensely. And stuff like that. Don't worry, Joshua. We'll get to it. Don't worry, bro. We'll get to it. Cause like you said, they're 5 minutes away from getting swept.
Yeah, but the game is really really close right now. What's going on, nephew? But yeah, it's the game is really really close right now. So anything could happen. But I think Boston's going to win.
Hmm.
So I'm still going to get myself a small bit of credit because I told you that they was going to win the series. I just didn't think it was going to be a sweep. But
All right. So, but Phoenix and New Orleans, right? So this is a series that you said was gonna be close, and stuff like that. And look, obviously, Devin Booker not being there hurts, but at the same time, and someone made a good point, and I agree with them. New Orleans don't have Zion, so it's fair game. You know what I mean?
now
Unfortunately, injuries are injuries. Um, but yeah, go ahead. Say what
are
you guys say.
you still believe that they should keep Zion on the bench, even tied 2-2? Because all they need to win is two more games.
Yeah, but what they also need to do. Wait, actually, no, they did that. They beat Phoenix and Phoenix, right? So look, at the end of the day, like if they can be Phoenix, then and you want to bring back Zion, then be my guest. To me, I think in the best of three, I think Phoenix is still going to win the series. I still think so, but it's close because like Brendan Ingram, that dude's big time. Um, damn, what's that dude's name? McCollum, that dude's big. CJ McCollum, that dude's big time.
Mm-hmm.
And they have this guy named I forgot his first name, but Alvarado, he's bothering the hell out of Chris Paul, and also Chris Paul is getting older. You know what I mean? Like Chris Paul is getting older, so even though he's still great, he's not gonna be as great. He's not gonna be as great every game. That's what happens when you get old. Like sometimes you just don't have it, and they really don't have a scorer that can at least supplant what Devin Booker can do. Right? You can't make up 30 points a game. So
Right.
that's why they need the rest of the guys to step up.
I think, yeah, I think because he's older, he obviously can't be the same player like he used to be.
Yeah.
Um, but I think overall, the team still should be able to be good enough, to beat New Orleans. Because remember, I mean, even though New Orleans hasn't had Zion for the whole entire, almost the whole entire season, to me right now it's almost evenly matched. But
I
but I still think Phoenix is still slightly better.
hmm
What are you gonna say?
Well, no, I agree. I end up agreeing with you.
Yeah,
So so it's a best of three now. So you still think Phoenix is gonna win? Because I
yeah,
still think they're gonna win.
yeah. I think Phoenix is still going to win, and I still think that, but because Booker is is basically out, I do think it might go to 7 games, and I
Yeah.
think because it's
It
going to
wouldn't.
go
It
to
wouldn't.
seven
It would,
games,
yeah, definitely wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't
yeah,
surprise me.
and because it's going to go to 7 games, in my opinion, I
Mhm.
think it all comes down to home court, and because Phoenix has home court, I believe they're going to win.
Yeah, I
Unfortunately,
agree.
Chris Paul obviously is older, like you said earlier, and
hmm
because of that, that's the reason why I think it's going to go to 7 games opposed to 6.
Yeah. Joshua said that Pels don't really need Zion, in my opinion.
Hmm.
Mota said,
Well,
"Remember when I told
here's the thing. I'm not saying that you're wrong about that, Josh. But
you?"
in order for them to win a championship, yes, they need him. If they want to contend for a championship, they need Zion. But what I did also say was now that they have an opportunity because of the whole play-in thing, it would be the perfect time to put Zion in so that they could actually make it run. Because if the guy is completely healthy and everybody else is healthy, this is a great opportunity for you to take down the first seed and continue on with the playoffs. It's like you cannot ask for a better platter than this. You can't. You
I,
can't
I
ask for a better platter.
I don't think he's healthy. I don't think he's 100% healthy.
If the guy is doing 360 dunks, he's healthy.
But what's he
If-
doing? But someone brought up a good point. Is what is he doing after the dunk? If he's able to land properly, because there are people saying that even when he does the dunks, he's still like limping a little bit. And like I said, it's one thing to do one dunk, but once you land, then landing is hard. Like especially landing's hard. You know what I
I
mean? So
mean, yeah, landing is hard, but if he's constantly doing the same dunks over and over again, like these are not like soft, dunks that he's doing. Like these are like slam hard, athletical dunks.
yeah, that's why he shouldn't be fucking doing them.
Yeah, but if
That's
he's
why he
doing
shouldn't be
between
doing
the
them.
if he's doing between the leg dunks,
hmm
if he's doing slam dunks, 360 windmills, all that good stuff, to me, that's somebody who is healthy. Somebody who is healthy is not capable of doing that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So let me read some more comments. Malta said, "Remember when I told y'all Nets weren't getting past the first round, and y'all thought my take was ridiculous." Um, I mean, I didn't expect them to. One, I didn't expect them to be a 7 seed. One, and two, I didn't expect them to play Boston in the first round, and I didn't expect the two top players to play like garbage throughout the series. But with that said, you
Oh
know,
boy, oh
we'll,
my
we'll,
goodness,
we'll get to it. We'll get to it. We'll get to
dude,
it.
are you, dude? I'm like really trying to focus on the podcast right now, but man, they cut it down to 3 and they just turned the
Yeah,
ball over.
yeah.
Oh my goodness, there's actually a chance that we could get a game 5. Wow.
Like Joshua said, he's a good help and piece of the team, but they don't need him.
Let me see, but well, like I said, they need him in order to win a championship. They don't need him right now to go to the playoffs. But if you want to contend for a championship,
Mm.
I honestly believe that they are actual good enough to compete. Because if they could hang hang around this long, what do you think? How good the team is when you implement Zion into the roster?
That's what. But the thing is that you need to implement him into the roster when when you have a full season, when you have a camp, when you have a training camp, you play a couple exhibition games, then you get to the regular season. I think that's where I don't think you can do that in the playoffs. I just don't think you can do that like right away in the playoffs.
Hmm.
That was my whole point in all this, and because I didn't think they had a chance against Phoenix, but with Booker hurt, they have a chance. They have a chance. Like Joshua said that Zion was dunking on mid courts, and it's easier to get up in those, and landing's way softer, which is probably true. But if I'm him, I wouldn't be risking it right now.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. They just scored again. Now they're only
Wait,
down by
who, wait,
one.
wait, wait. Who scored again?
Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant finally has a good game for once.
Yeah.
30,
All right.
30 35. He has 35 points right now, and they're only down by 1 point. This is unbelievable. I can't believe I'm seeing this right now.
No, I could believe this is what should have been going on from jump. That's what should have been going on by jump. I don't like I said we'll discuss it when we get there. Dallas and Utah. Um, Utah they saved their season. You know what I mean? Luca came back and he was excellent as usual.
Hmm.
He was excellent, and Utah they had to make a play when they needed to with the alley pass from Mitchell to Gobert, which is a revelation in his own right. And yeah, man. So now it's the best of three. Like I said, Luca's back. So I think Dallas is still gonna win the series.
Oh, you think they're gonna win? You think Dallas is gonna win the series?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Dallas is going to win because I didn't even know Luca was back. I
Yeah.
didn't even know I didn't even know he was back.
Yeah.
So the fact that he's back, yes, I do think they're going to win, the series. Um, dude, there's only 1 minute left in the game. I truly wish that we could put this in the live stream, but I know we can't do that. But my gosh, this is intense right now. Are you
This is
watching?
the, yeah. This is the game right here. This is the game right here. So and okay, so it's Boston's ball. So I mean, we might as well just watch the game.
the,
Like, I ain't gonna lie, we might as well just watch the game.
the thing is, I want us to watch, but I don't want to keep the audience out of the loop. I'm
No,
pretty sure. I'm pretty sure Joshua and Malta is watching the game too.
yeah, they're watching. They know what's going on.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
know
I'm
what's
pretty
going
sure they. I'm pretty sure they know what's going on as well.
on.
Uh, oh my goodness, dude! This is it right here.
Yeah, this is it.
Oh, oh! Oh, that was a mistake.
Yeah,
He almost got the ball.
yeah. And oh man, that Durant got lucky. He didn't get hurt.
Yeah.
All right. So Molto said that instead of responding to Boston fans by playing better, he gives them the finger. So classy. Trust me, I have something to say about that dude when we get to it. Trust me, I got something. You got something to say about Durant. I got something to say about Kyrie.
Oh, really?
Trust me. Yeah, absolutely. Trust me. Trust me.
Uh, I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm actually looking forward to hear what you have to say. Is it solely because of the whole shooting the finger?
No, I don't care. No, I don't care about that. That part I don't care about. It's everything
Dude,
else. And
is Tatum fouled out?
yeah, he fouled out.
Oh, he missed it. Oh,
Mm. That's all right. I mean, they need to foul.
oh, the game's over.
They need to foul. Wait. Okay, you. Oh my! I have a lot to say about this. I have
What
a
that
lot.
last
I have a lot.
that
Yeah.
that
What
that
just
last
happened?
play?
Yeah, you want to know why people say that Steve Nash should be fired? That's the
Why?
reason why.
Why?
That's the reason why.
Tell me why.
Hello, to instruct your player to fucking foul them. How hard is it how hard is it to coach your team into like this? Okay, no, you know what? I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. While they're in commercial, let's talk briefly about Golden State and Denver. Right
Okay.
now, go shout out to the Nuggets. Shout out to the Nuggets. They won a game. They're gonna lose the next game. But shout out to them. But they're gonna lose the next game. What your thoughts?
Um, Golden State. This is basically the same Golden State that we've seen before KD arrived to that team. The team that was dominating, the team that was just unstoppable shooting the three, the team with excellent ball movement, the same team that mostly everybody in that team like can play defense. I don't care what anybody says. Klay Thompson is an excellent on ball defender.
Absolutely. Who said he wasn't?
I'm a lot of them. How come he hasn't won defensive player of the year yet?
I mean, because the guy who they're probably gonna give it to would have been Draymond.
When it comes to on ball defending, bro, dude, the way Klay Thompson can lock on the players, it actually remind me somewhat of Bruce Bowen. Like
No, I
that
get
dude
it,
could,
but I get it, but Draymond Green is the engine on that team defensively.
yeah.
So mm. Now they foul. Oh, did they foul? No. Did
Yeah,
they
they
foul?
foul.
Okay.
Yeah,
Now they foul. Fucking stupid.
yeah. They decided to foul now. The, I mean, I'm not saying that was a bad shot, by Kevin Durant, but uh, the guy was right in front of your face. I think you should have probably given it to. Well, I don't know if Kyrie was open, but yo, let me tell you something. The fact that they were able to finish them off with Tatum on the bench just tells you just how great this team is. Just tells you
Yeah,
that. Go ahead.
I guess, but I feel like this is something that Boston. You give them credit, but but the Nets are the reason why they lost this game. Stupid. This is such a stupid team.
This when you look at this roster, with obviously with Dragic, Patty Mills, Steph, not Steph, Seth Curry. I, you would think that this team should be winning this series easy.
No, no, no.
If you are going to say that well, I don't know if you said it, but if people are going to say that Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving are the best skilled players of all time, or at least in the NBA currently,
Who the fuck said that?
a lot of people said that.
They're fucking idiots.
And they were saying how if Kevin Durant is the best player in the league, which I don't think so, which I told you he was not. But if you're going to say that he's the best player in the league, you got to win at least one game. You can't sit here and tell me that this is not a championship team right now. You can't.
So we'll get to it when we get there. I have a lot to say. We'll get to it when we get there. All right. All right. Memphis and
Oh, but it will one last thing.
mhm.
Speaking of defense, you still feel the same way that Smart shouldn't win Defensive Player of the Year?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Regardless, all right. Memphis and Minnesota. Right. Minnesota tied the series up at 2. While look, game 3 was a bad look for them, but I think I had a feeling that they were going to win this game. Right. Anthony Towns. Shout out to him. He had a great game. Like I said, it's 2-2. Now you're going back to Memphis. I still think it's Memphis. I think Memphis will win, but like you said, if you when you really look at it, I think Minnesota's had big leads in all 4 games. if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And like I said, and they like to me. I think they have more star power, but like they're a front running team, and most young teams are they're front runners,
Mm-hmm.
and like I said, when they're up, they're unstoppable. When they're down, they're beatable. They're very beatable. So what's your quick thoughts on this?
I think that this team is obviously good enough. Hold on. Oh, the game started. Oh, come on. What kind of three? Oh, okay, he made it. But the game's over. The game's over. Oh man.
Now he did the Dirk Nowitzki.
Yeah. Yeah. And and speaking of Dirk Nowitzki, you see. Well, actually, no. I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna say it right
No,
now. I'm
yo,
gonna
you,
say
you want to know why? I know why you weren't gonna say it. I know why you hold back. You held back
what? Why?
because when that dude won MVP, they got their asses kicked in the first round as a one seed, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, against Golden State. Oh my goodness, dude. Dude, I right now, I just still cannot believe what I'm seeing. I can't,
I
I
don't know.
can't, I can't, I can't believe it because
This was inevitable. This was inevitable.
oh, all right, ladies and gentlemen and ladies, this.
Don't trust me. We will talk about it when we get there. Trust me.
Okay, okay,
We will
okay.
talk about it when we get there.
All right, all
All
right, all
right.
right, all
So
right. But the game is over. The game is over.
yeah.
Boston wins 116-112. A clean sweep. A clean sweep. Well, yeah, okay. You say we'll talk about it when we get there. Okay, go ahead. Go
All
ahead.
right.
Go ahead.
So pretty much, you said what you said about Minnesota and Memphis. All right. So Eastern Conference, Miami, Atlanta. Miami beat the shit out of Atlanta.
Now, before we
Um.
continue, I
Mhm.
told you that they were going to go to Game 5 at the very least.
And I
I
mean, look, like Trey Young had a he had I wouldn't say he had a good game three, but he made the game winning shot. Shout out to him. With that said, game four, Miami took that ass. Miami took that ass. They locked down. They locked down. They completely locked down Trey Young,
mm-hmm.
and they suffocated Atlanta defensively. You know what I mean? Even without Kyle Lowry. Shout out to Victor Oladipo. He played well. Even though I know offensively, he wasn't. Offensively, I know he wasn't great, but he played great defense. Shout out to PJ Tucker, who completely shut down Kyrie Irving.
Mm-hmm.
No, my bad. He completely shut down
I mean,
Trey Young.
yeah.
Yeah,
Trey Young.
he completely shut down Trey Young, and I expect Miami to beat them in Game 5. I completely expect them to beat them in Game 5. What are your quick thoughts?
Okay. Oh wait, hold on. Are we still talking about the Miami Heat?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What are your quick
Oh,
thoughts on the series?
yeah. I think, dude, I really want to say that the Hawks probably has a chance to win one more, but I can't. I can't do it. I can't do it. Not with the great defense that Miami has been playing. My goodness, and Jimmy Butler, Hero, like those guys just continue to deliver. And the fact that now look, Kyle Lowry is still hurt, isn't he?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's not gonna play Game 5.
Right.
He's out. He's
So
out for Game 5.
yeah, because of that, I do think there's a chance that it may go to 6 games. I do
I would
think
be
there's a
really
chance.
disappointed. I would be really disappointed if it went to 6 games because Miami has thoroughly outplayed them in this series. Atlanta not. They're not in Miami's league. They're not. So like to me, it would be completely disappointing, and it would be a bad omen if you lose to Atlanta, at home. To me, you take care of business in that team. In that team,
Wait.
it's already proven that their best player can't do nothing against your defense. It's proven they can't do nothing against your defense. They're done. They're done,
Mhm.
and it's time to finish them off.
Yeah, I'm not saying that you're wrong. The only thing that I'm saying is that because that they, like Kyle Lowry is still a huge important component for that
No,
team.
I agree. They're gonna need him. They're gonna need him. Against Philadelphia and in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah.
They don't need him.
So
They don't need him for this game. They don't need him against Atlanta.
yeah,
No.
I think you're 100% correct. The only problem is I do see an extension in the series because he's out. I do see like there's a chance for an extension at the very least game six. I don't think you should be disappointed if Miami wins in six.
No, I would be 100% disappointed because this Atlanta team's not good. They're not better than Miami at all. They're not. And I don't care who's out there. They should beat Atlanta. They should. They're not that good. And Trey Young's been garbage the whole series. Like they're not good.
I think you should give credit, to Miami's defense.
No, 100%. Like absolutely. They put that dude in a box.
Yes.
They put that dude in a shoebox and told him you ain't going nowhere. The only thing he can do is shoot from the logo. That's it. He can't do nothing else right now against this Miami Heat defense. That's why I'm saying you take care of business tonight because as
Hmm.
we're gonna talk about when it comes to the next where the hell my thing go? Hold on a second. Oh my bad. As I was saying, right? This team they're not better than you. They shown that you can beat them. So take care of business. And as we're gonna talk about with the next series, right now Toronto's up right now on Philadelphia. They're up on Philadelphia right now. And Joel Embiid is hurt.
Yeah.
He's hurt. So
Hmm.
what you need to do, take care of business tonight. Hopefully, even whether or not they win the series or not today, if it gets extended, it only benefits you. Take care of business. Take care of business. Get rid of this fucking. Just get rid of this peon in their team and let's move on to the second round.
When you say if the game gets extended, the series get extended, you said it benefits Miami. How?
I'm talking about when it comes to Philadelphia and Toronto. Because
Oh,
Toronto, yeah, because
oh,
Toronto's
okay.
up right now. Let me see if I can get the game. Let me see if I can get the game. Because when I saw Toronto was leading by a good amount into halftime.
Yeah.
I know. I
Yeah.
think. I think it's a. I think it's a. I think it's a. I think it's a TV. I think it's an NBA TV game.
Yeah, I got basic cable now, so I don't have. I won't be able to watch, but I should be able to watch the Jazz and Mavericks game.
Yeah, it
But
comes on next. Okay, there we go. Let me look at the score right now. Uh, yeah, Toronto's up 71-58. So hopefully, if Toronto can somehow win and extend it to a game six, with Embiid hurt, it only benefits Miami. That's
mhm.
why they have. That's why they have to put the nail in the coffin in Atlanta and get rid of them.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't have nothing more to say about it. Miami's gonna win Tuesday. Will like Philadelphia and Toronto. Like I said, right now they're losing, and that injury that Embiid has, that's not gonna get any better. Like you said, he has to get surgery at the end of the year. That's not gonna get better. And I don't know if can you depend on a team led by James Harden.
Not anymore.
That's the big question. I do think they'll win this series. I do think they'll win this series. You know what I mean? But with that said, Toronto's a scrappy team, right? Toronto's a scrappy team, and like they're an MB shot away from being 2-2. Like this is how close it's been. It's closer than it's closer than people give them credit for.
Yeah.
But I still think Philadelphia's gonna win the series. But like I said, you had like if you're Miami, you have to take advantage. You have to take advantage. So
Okay.
yeah. So
All right.
Multa said that he'd rather see the Sixers without Harden. Um, Listen, like I know. Look, you know me. I'm not the biggest James Harden fan. right? But like your second best player can't be Tobias Harris. It can't. Shout out to Maxi, but he's a young player. Your second best player can't be Tobias Harris.
No, I agree.
So yeah, but before we move on to Chicago and Milwaukee, let me read some stuff on here. Joshua said that KD stinks, KD reeks. Grab the brooms.
Oh man.
McKinley said get the broom and nets and nets get fishing rods.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Now here's the thing. I don't want to say that KD stinks. Now has he been? Now does he stink in the series? Absolutely. Complete garbage in this whole entire series. Garbage. And as you could see, even during when it comes to taking the last shot or getting close to a win, he couldn't deliver. He couldn't deliver. Now I'm sorry, having now
Hey,
as we go.
we'll get to it. Don't worry, we'll get to it. We'll get to it.
Okay, fine.
Let's just do Milwaukee and Chicago real quick.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, look, if anyone's gonna say that Giannis Antetokounmpo is the best player in the league, you're not getting an argument from me.
Okay.
And thankfully, this was something that I was right about. Is that they'll be fine at least in this series without Middleton because Giannis can be Giannis, and then you just need one of those other guys to step up. And that's exactly what Drew Holiday did, right? Bobby Portis. Even though I gotta be real, I don't like Bobby Portis. There's something about him I don't like,
Oh really?
but he helps that team immensely. He's a big part of that team. And shout out to Grayson Allen. Dude scored 27 points in Game 4, and I know Chicago fans have to be they have to be mad about that. They have to be mad about that. You want to know why?
Why?
Because Alex Caruso, who's been a good part of that Chicago Bulls team this year, he got hurt. For a significant amount of time because of a play where I guess he was trying to get a layup or whatever, and Allen, hit him with a flagrant foul, and I think he broke his wrist, and he was out for a long period of time.
Oh, okay.
And obviously Chicago fan, they don't forget that. But I mean, Grayson Allen stuck it to him in that game. Stuck it to him.
Yeah,
So
yeah, and I like you said, you believe that if someone said that if Giannis is the best player, there's no argument. Like I said,
yeah.
I have always said that he was the best. Well, no, let me backtrack. I did say that it was Steph Curry in the beginning of the season,
Hmm.
but I am going to say right now the best player in the league is Giannis. Second place is Steph Curry, but for right now, especially at the last game that he had, I think he had like 30 something points and like 17 freaking rebounds. Like the dude has been sensational.
Yeah, yeah.
Sensational.
I saw this one play where he pretty much spun in between DeRozan and he spun between DeRozan and Levine and just dunked it with just ease. He makes the game look so easy.
Yes.
It's crazy how athletic he is, how big he is, and how fast he is, and it's just like, bro, like you can't stop that. You
Yeah, you
can't
can't.
stop that.
And it's a shame that the media don't want to, give him the recognition that he deserves.
I mean, he's been MVP 2 years in a row, like two years in a row
But I'm,
prior.
I'm talking about like sports talk, like first take and things like that. Like they don't like
Uh,
to.
we
They
we
don't.
know we know what that shit we know what that shit's about. They talk about the Nets and the Lakers
Yeah.
and whatever. Yeah, we know what that's like. So I don't pay no attention to those idiots. But the Milwaukee's ending this. I don't know when they play next, but Game 5 I think is over. I think Milwaukee got this in the bag.
I think Milwaukee has it in the bag too. I think you're not. Giannis is going to have another, excellent game because I don't see anybody that can really guard him.
Yeah.
He's just too good, and like I said before, you see, he doesn't have to shoot
Oh my
well.
God.
He doesn't have to shoot like a Kevin Durant or Steph Curry, to be the best player in the league. He doesn't.
No, he
He could
doesn't.
just dominate his own way, and he's been dominating the whole league for the past 2 seasons now, which is why I say he's the best player in the league.
It's
So
going
I
to be very interesting to see how Boston defends Giannis this time around.
oh my
It's gonna be
goodness,
interesting.
I'm expecting to see a big wall every time when Giannis tries to get to the hole. A
Okay.
nice big wall.
All right. All right. So we're good there. Before we get to the main event, let me make a quick phone call. Right. So let me make a quick phone call. You can start. You can start. Talking about Brooklyn and Boston. All right. And I'll join you once it's over. All right.
All right, yeah, go ahead. All right.
All right.
All right. So while he's making this phone call, let me see if I. Oh no, I won't be able to share anything right now because he's out. But okay, what we just saw in this game, the Nets and Boston. I have to say this, right? Do I think Kevin Durant is an excellent player? Yes, but however, I do believe that so many people has been brainwashed because of his skills. He's an excellent shooter, but what else can you offer in the table with the exception of your shooting ability? There's really nothing else that he does in an exceptional level. I just don't see it. Like he doesn't constantly, rebound the ball well or have assists. And I think his defense is overrated. I think Kevin Durant's defense is highly overrated. And I think that is very unfortunate because of his wingspan, because he's basically 7 foot or 6'11". He should be able to average at least 1 or 2 blocks per game, in my opinion. I think, and he's athletic enough to do it. But I just feel like Kevin Durant, he needs to, be more versatile. I think Kevin Durant needs to be, the type of guy that will do more than just constantly shooting from the outside. Because I think he's afraid of physicality, in my opinion. Now I don't know if you guys feel the exact same way, but I think he's afraid of physicality. He doesn't like contact, and once again, I think it's because he's too skinny. I think he's too skinny. Um, Let me see. Malta said, "Oh, I can't click on it because having those doing the hosting." So let me see. Grayson Allen has a history of attempting these, kind of things. Yes, I agree with that. I thought Junior KD did average a block per game. I mean, I have to go and look, but I don't. I'm not sure if he actually averaged a block per game, but I definitely have to check and see.
All right, I'm back.
Somebody,
I'm back.
why'd you have to make a phone call now?
No, it's my dad.
Oh, okay, okay. He called you. Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah. So
Oh, okay.
yeah. No, everything's fine. But okay. So what were you saying?
Yeah, I was
Oh, you
basically,
yeah. You
I
were
was,
gonna you were gonna talk about Durant, right?
yeah, but I want you to give me your thoughts, your take of how you feel about Kevin Durant now.
I mean, he showed up for one game. He showed up for one game. I don't know what Kyrie's stat line is, but if I yeah, let me look for it right now. Let me look for it right now. I'm gonna look for it right now because depending on what he did, he only showed up for one game for one game also.
I could have sworn Kyrie played good on 2 games.
No,
Did he play okay on game 3?
no, he was garbage in game three also.
Oh, he was.
Yeah,
Oh,
he was garbage.
let me check because I could have sworn he was at least okay in one of the other games. Let me see. I'm going to check right now, and it says over here that
He had 20 points.
20 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 blocks. I guess. Do you think 25 and 5 is good?
It's not. That's not what you're paying him to do. He only had 13 shots. I don't know why he didn't shoot more. I know Durant shot 31 times,
Wait a minute.
But
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. So when I said that Kevin Durant only had 23 points, you were like 23 points,
no,
mocking
but
me,
yeah,
saying that.
no. Because my thing with Durant that I've always been impressed with his ability to score easily. His ability to score easily. But I also didn't anticipate him being garbage for pretty much the whole series. I didn't anticipate that. I thought we were gonna get this game two from him, but we didn't get
Hmm.
that. Now, to me, like, look, this you give Boston props. They beat the shit out of this team, but there's so much I have to say about this team. I don't know. Man, this might take an hour alone. This might take an hour alone.
Okay.
There's so many things that I want to say about this team. But if you ask me about Durant, yeah, he wasn't great. Like that game he had today should have been every game he played. That should have been every game he played, but he didn't come through in the end.
Hmm.
Do I think that he's do I think that he stinks now? No. Do I think that do I think that he's overrated? No. Do I think he needs to change much in his body, become a bodybuilder like you say? No. I don't
Oh
think
my
he has to do any
goodness.
of those things. The one thing that he has to do is he needs to man the fuck up and tell Kyrie to get your shit in order. Because the one thing, and I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm going to give Kendrick Perkins credit. When everyone's talking about, oh, I feel bad for KD, this and that, and he had to put up a massive, workload and everything like that, especially over the last couple of games of the season. I understand it. I get it. But what Perkins said was right on the money.
Okay.
You co-signed all of this. You're the one that decided to go to Brooklyn. You're the one that co-signed getting Steve Nash, who, in my opinion, should not be coaching that team anymore.
She can take your old phone that you've had for
Should
12
not
years.
be coaching that team. Can you turn the volume down on your TV,
For
please?
something new that
Oh,
you
my
like
bad. My
about
bad. My
it.
bad.
Then enjoy immediate success.
I wish
He
I said
should not.
something before. Go
It's
ahead.
fine.
Go ahead.
He should not be coaching that team anymore. He's in over his head, right? You co-sign
Mhm.
getting him, and you co-sign bringing in Harden and Kyrie. You co-signed them trading Harden. You co-signed them. You and the thing that you did the thing that you did the most egregious thing. You co-signed signing with Kyrie, playing with him. You
Yes.
co-signed his bullshit with the vaccine. And let me tell you something about Kyrie that pissed me off. Right?
Well, here you go.
Let me look for this. Right? This fucking moron said, "Oh, we didn't have time to gel or play well together." Why the fuck you think that is? Why the fuck you think that is? Because you decided that Kyrie Irving was not going to get the vaccine,
Wait a
right?
minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
I'm talking. I'll let you talk in a second. Everybody else in that fucking organization took the vaccine. I know for a fact that no one else wanted to take the. I know there's other people who didn't want to take that fucking vaccine. I know for a fact that was the thing. But everybody else did. Everybody sacrificed for the betterment of the team, except for him. And instead of calling him out on his bullshit, it didn't have to be done publicly. It could have been done privately. Instead of co-signing, co-signing that, you co-signed his bullshit. So I'm sorry, I don't feel bad for you. You asked for all of this. You asked for all of this. And to Kyrie, look, we all know he's a selfish guy. And let's also be frank about this. Before LeBron got to Cleveland and teamed up with him, he was a loser. He was a great player that did not translate into team success. That Cleveland Cavaliers team before LeBron James got there was garbage. But all people want to talk about is Uncle Drew, his dribbling skills, and all this other bullshit. Right? When he went to Boston, they played better without him than they did with him.
That's true. Yeah.
He's not a leader. He's not. He's a selfish, self-absorbed, delusional prick. That's what he is. And that's what he's always been. And you co-sign that because you're cool with him. Because you're friends. Stop being friends with these fucking guys and be a fucking leader. That's what you're supposed to be. And you can say whatever you want. That's what LeBron James is. That's what Michael Jordan is. That's what Larry Bird is. Every major great player in NBA history that you're put in the same conversation with, they all were leaders. All great leaders. They led by example. You let this piece of shit dictate everything going on in that fucking organization, and you got what you deserved. You got exactly what you deserved. You can go.
When did Kyrie do what I was the reason why I wanted to intervene real quick. When in the world did Kyrie Irving said that? When did he say that we didn't have enough time to? Are you sure he said that?
At the game 3 press conference. Let me look for it right now.
Oh, dude, please play the audio, because I want to hear this because he said he did not have enough time to play with the team.
They didn't have enough time to gel, right? He said, "Oh, Boston been gelling since Boston been gelling since December, whatever the fuck." Right? And why do you think that is? Because everyone on the team was available to play. You're at home doing whatever the fuck while you're not in home games when you're not getting because you're not vaccinated.
Now,
I'm getting it right now.
Now,
And the point, and you know what? I'm sorry for interrupting you. But here's the thing that frustrates me more than anything. If you didn't want to get the vaccine, that's fine. Just don't be delusional about it. No accountability whatsoever. No accountability. It's and no one had the balls to ask him. Well, do you think that is because of the vaccine? No one didn't ask him that because that's the main reason. That's the main reason.
well, remember he didn't trust the vaccine, just like how so many other people didn't trust it.
I don't. No one at this point. No one cares. They don't complain about chemistry issues. They don't complain.
Okay. Why are you looking for the audio? Because I really want to listen to it.
Yeah.
Why are you looking for the audio? I have something to say about the whole Kyrie thing. Now look, do I believe that this team was set up to be a championship team? Yes. Now, mind you, they were in the top 2, top 3 seed in earlier this season. They were. And when James Harden went to the team, I believe they basically had the championship on lock once James Harden went to Philadelphia. But because of Kevin Durant's injury, now I want to say this: the only reason why I believe that James Harden left wasn't solely because of Kyrie's not taking the vaccine. I think it was Kevin Durant's. Um, I think it was Kevin Durant's injury that made Harden leave. Because
What are you seeing right now?
I'm seeing YouTube, or not anymore.
I'm trying. I want to play the audio without showing the video. All right.
Yeah, you could do that. Just minimize the YouTube, I guess. I mean, if you could do that. I can't hear anything.
You can't hear anything?
Mm-mm.
Oh, so you can't hear nothing?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna play it right now. Hold on.
The frustrating part.
Can you put the
Can you
volume
hear
up?
anything? Yeah.
Out there that we can control, and just the turnovers and the offensive rebounds.
Yeah, it's all the way up.
I think for the last 3 games, you can see we've given a lot of easy baskets in transition, and though they're a good defensive team, they've proven. I feel like sometimes we just put in their lap and they go the other way and they get in transition.
So you can't hear?
They make big time
Yeah, I can hear it now.
So
you can hear it? Okay, hold on. Okay.
They make it tough in the half court.
Let me see if I find this thing.
That's a totally different situation than compared to what we're into right now. And I don't even want to compare it just out of respect. Maybe a different situation, but different from this. and just get ready for Monday. No time to hold your head, no time to think about what everyone else is saying. It's just
Hold on.
go play basketball.
Kyrie, you were on that Cavs team that was down 3-1 and came back. What do you take from that?
Okay, hold on. I'm trying to find it. Hold on.
Just for these last
Yeah.
few games, he felt like he could make a bigger impact.
This was his stats for game 3. You see the stats for game 3? 16.6 for 17. 0 for 7 from 3. 9 assists, which is fine, but
Yeah,
0
9
from 7 for 3. Not enough. You can't. Your second best player can't be this.
Yeah, I think him having the 9 assists and the 16 points, that usually stuff like that is acceptable for role players, or for example, someone like Chris Paul, Kyle Lowry, but those guys should not be. Those guys are not the main reason why you're a championship team. They're just I guess you could say a byproduct.
Yeah.
But Kyrie Irving, he is the sole reason why you are a championship team. And having 16 points is unacceptable.
I agree.
And
Unacceptable.
I'm
Now,
still trying to find the part. Hold on.
Yeah.
He saw out there, and we just went out there and executed, but just wasn't enough.
Kyrie, specific to you and Kevin, what do you think you need to do in Game 4 to get rolling again offensively?
Just trusting the flow of the game, trusting the rhythm, and really just shooting the shots that are there. When you're going against a good defensive team such as Boston, answer questions about why things aren't going well and why the shot's not going in. And
I really hope you don't get a copyright strike.
Yeah, I know.
And you guys know better than me, just watching from the sideline, just that these things can happen at a change of the game where guys coming in hot and there's just a cold spell. It's just okay, but that's what brothers do. Looked him in the eye and told him how I felt. He told me how
You probably won't be able to find it, but I'll take your word for it anyway. I'll take your word for it because it looks like it's...
Hold on a second. Let me see if I can find it. We may have to go to we may have to go to this. Yeah, we may have to go to this.
If you shop on Amazon,
yeah. Yeah, okay, that's fine.
Okay. Okay, I think I just found it.
Okay.
You know what it is. I don't think no speech or anything we expect mountain high greatness out of one another.
Hold on.
Are you guys able to hear it? I hope you guys are able to hear it.
It's Christmas.
Okay. No, I found it exactly.
The last thing I want to hear is Molly's voice.
Go ahead. This is what it is.
Usually we're gelling around the right time, and that team in the other locker room is gelling at the right time. We've been gelling since Christmas. So for us, we're just in a new experience as a group, and we just got to respect that and just bring everything we can to this next game and just do one possession at a time. I don't want to be too cliche, but I don't have a lot of answers for how you make up time, from October until now, when usually teams would be gelling and things would be feeling good. You could put it on me in terms of playing better, controlling the game better, controlling our possessions, being more in the stance, not turning the ball over as much. I had 5 fouls tonight, so you could put it on me more of just just doing more, and holding guys accountable. Same way I'm held accountable.
You heard what he said?
A little bit because it was very soft. But go ahead, finish what he was saying.
He pretty much said that I don't know how we can make up time between now and the playoffs. You want to know how you make up time? Get in the fucking vaccine. You again, this is who he is. Delusional. Self-absorbed. Everybody sacrifices for the team except for him. Everybody does except for him. All these times we talk about these athletes, they need to sacrifice, they need to sacrifice. They have to sacrifice people treating them like shit, people treating them with respect because they make money. Right? They have to sacrifice privacy because they're public figures. right? They have to sacrifice time with family because they have to go to work. They have to travel. All these sacrificing that we ask these motherfuckers to do, but yet this nigga don't want to get a shot. Man, fuck out of here. And that's on KD. So I don't feel sorry for him. He got what he deserved. First time ever getting swept. He didn't do that with Russell. He didn't do that with Steph. But he did it with him. And no injury, no nothing.
Well, here's the problem. Kevin Durant didn't play well either.
No, of course,
Okay?
absolutely. Look,
He
both men play like garbage. Like there's no denying that. And he especially played like garbage.
Yes.
There's no denying that.
If you are going to be called, the best player in the league, but yet you having consecutive games in the playoffs playing like garbage, then no, I can't put you at the top of the list anymore. I can't. Kevin Durant, as of right now, he's not number one. He's not number two. Now, if you want to put him as the second best player, or you still want to remain him as the best player in the league, that's fine. But I don't think he's number one, number two. Giannis is number one right now. Steph Curry is number two right now. Now, if you want to put him at the third spot, fine. But as of right now, you know what people, I guarantee what people are saying, they probably would put Tatum ahead of Kevin Durant because he's been consistently good in all 4 games. Tatum consistently good, with the exception of this last game because he fouled out, unfortunately. But he was even good in this last game until he fouled out. He's been consistently good. So if people want to put him ahead of Kevin Durant right now, go ahead. He is the one. Like, you could tell the difference between how he plays defense and how Kevin Durant's plays defense. I like I said before, I think Kevin Durant's defense is overrated. I don't think it's good like you make it like how you make it out to be. I don't. Now, regarding of Kyrie Irving, he not wanting to take the vaccine, I know you want to hold him accountable for that, but I'm not going to put him.
The season.
I'm
not going the season.
I'm not going to put him at fault for not wanting to take the vaccine. I can't do it.
No. But don't complain about we don't have time to build chemistry. You had the time. You decided, what, I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna do things on my time, and you guys can handle it. I don't care what you think about the vaccine mandate. I don't care. The facts are, everybody on that team took it. Everybody on the team took it. Everyone is asked to sacrifice except for him. And you know what? That's on you, KD. That's on you because you co-signed that shit. You co-signed that. Now let me read this from Malta. Malta said because Harden didn't want to be there because Kyrie won't sacrifice. That's exactly what happened, and nobody wants to call it out.
No.
Nobody wants to call it out.
You're wrong.
No. Because you know what? Because everybody else is saying, "Oh, Harden." Everyone's going at Harden. Is going at him. We know why he left. Because he didn't want to be in an organization that kowtowed to Kyrie Irving. That's why he didn't want to be there. Nobody wants to say it, but that's exactly what happened. This is the part. Yeah, go ahead.
He went to the Nets knowing that Kyrie wasn't taking the vaccine. He knew what he was getting himself into.
No. You got your timing all mixed up. Remember, the first year when Harden was there was the vaccine mandate wasn't there. The vaccine was available, but the mandate wasn't there.
It was available.
No. The mandate wasn't available. Like they didn't have.
Right.
They didn't have any rules saying, "Oh, you had to get vaccinated, do this and do that." That was the next year.
Yeah.
That was the next year. The only reason why they lost to Milwaukee because of the injuries. I don't put down none of them.
Yeah, but my problem is he was completely fine until Kevin Durant got hurt. It's just unfortunate that Kevin Durant was hurt. Now all of a sudden, he wanted to leave because the team started losing. Injuries is part of the game, unfortunately. You were injured, James Harden. You were injured. You were injured just last season. But yet Kevin Durant gets hurt, and now you suddenly say, "Oh, I don't want to be in this organization anymore."
I think
Where was this energy when you guys were winning? Where was
I
the
think that
energy?
there's more to it than that, Steve. I'm telling you,
No.
there's more to it
Where
than
was
that.
the energy when they were winning? When they were
I'm
still
telling you,
winning?
there's more to it than that. But there's something that I wanted to address right here because we didn't even get to this part. They traded for a player who hasn't played one game for them this season or playoffs. Now, you hear all this talk about Ben Simmons getting ready to play Game 4. He's getting ready to play Game 4. He's close. He's close. He's close. In my head, I'm like, why are you guys doing this? This nigga hasn't played in a year in over a year, and you're gonna put him in a situation like tonight, and then come to find out, he had a setback. He still has mental hurdles to get over.
They're lying.
What the fuck is going on over there?
They're lying.
It's a fucking clown show. Whether they're lying or not, it's a fucking clown show.
Of course, they're lying. Listen.
No.
What?
Wait, hold on. I'll let you say it, but I'm just telling you. I like whether they're lying or not is not important to me. What I'm trying to figure out is how is it that news leak of he's getting ready to come back for Game 4, and now today we have to find out he has mental hurdles to get over. Like wait, just what like what's going on? What's going on? Like I'm trying to figure out how is it that you get to being this close to playing in a game, and then now I'm having setbacks. Like that type of stuff should not come out at all. That's if he's ready to play, then he's ready to play. But all this stuff about like he's ready to play, and then now he's not. And you know what's funny thing is he wasn't even on the bench today.
Yeah.
He wasn't even on the bench. Like, so what the fuck is going on? Seriously, what's going on? Go ahead. I'll let you go.
This is what I said. I want to share this real quick because I just want to show what I basically said on Twitter, because I guarantee a lot of people will say that I'm over exaggerating, I'm being too harsh, I'm being hyperbolic, but this is pretty much what I said on Twitter. Can you see this?
Yeah, I see it.
So there's the article. Now this is basically about what Reggie Miller had said, right?
Yeah, that dude roasted him.
Yeah, let's just read this, real quick, quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So Reggie Miller sounds off on Ben Simmons. This dude has zero competitive fire. Facts. 100% facts. Now, when the Brooklyn Nets announced that Ben Simmons wouldn't play Game 4 as planned, there was a lot to say. His return had been hyped for weeks, and after he woke up with back soreness Sunday, it all amounted to nothing. He wouldn't be in the game to help the Nets try to come back from a 3-0 series deficit. He wouldn't be making the Nets debut until likely October, 8 months after he was traded. All right, let's go see what Reggie Miller said. Okay, so here's what Reggie Miller said. Come on, man. Out for Game 4 when it was rumored that you were going to make your debut. This dude has zero competitive fire. As a small chance as the Nets have to come back in this series, you still have KD and Kyrie. All you need is to win one game, and take it from there. Just it, dude. 100%. And I'm giving Reggie Miller props for saying that. And okay, so Kendrick says Ben Simmons has officially completed the biggest heist in NBA history. He really set out an entire season. Carry on. 100%. 100%. And this is pretty much what I said, because I'm really am sick and tired of this dude. I'm sick and tired of talking about this dude. I'm sick and tired of this dude putting on public display that it's okay to be lazy and not do your damn job. So this is pretty much what I said. Most will say I'm being harsh or hyperbolic, but I don't care. At this point, Ben Simmons should no longer play in the NBA. Ever. Let this happen at a regular job. They call it neglect of duty. How the hell you betray 2 cities and still have a job? How the hell that you do not play one game in Philadelphia? One. You go to
You're talking about Brooklyn.
no. I'm talking about
Oh, you mean
Philadelphia.
this year? Okay, this year.
Yeah.
Okay.
You decide not to play not one game in Philadelphia, not one game. Then they granted your request to a championship team, and then you don't play not one game over there. How is it that it's possible that you betrayed two organizations, two fan bases? How in the world can I have any type of respect for somebody like that? I'm sorry. At this point, for you doing this consistency with the consistency of you not putting any effort, for you, just constantly taking, check after check after check, and then the fact that you had the nerve that you want to sue, Philadelphia for not giving you your money, this dude should no longer be able to play in the NBA anymore.
The thing that I'm that I'm confused about is if you had this back injury, all you had to do was use that. Even though we all know that you wanted to get traded, you could easily just say, "Oh, I have a bad back," and he would have got his money. My thing is that even with all of that, right? And I do agree with you with your overall sentiment. Like I said, I have no idea what's going on in this dude's head. I have no idea, right? But the thing is that how is it that you go from I'm ready to play to all of a sudden you're not even on the bench? For fuck's sake, we can see you from fucking space with that outfit, and now you're not on the bench. What the fuck going on with this franchise? And one more thing I wanted to say, and we saw it in the game today. Like this team is poorly coached. Why? Because they chose a guy that they can walk over, Kyrie and KD and Steve Nash. He got thoroughly outcoached in this series, and you want to know how I know? And look, I'm not this guy who knows, I can see a good coach when I see one. Like I don't. But the one universal thing that I can tell whether a guy is getting is a good coach or not in timeouts, right? You make a play. You develop a play at least to get a good shot. What happened? Dude throws the ball. This happened in game 3. Dude tried to throw the ball to KD. KD gets his pocket stolen, and gets to and the guy, I forgot who did it, but stole the ball, got to the rack, got an and one, and this is the play where KD just threw the ball into the stanchion.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Another way you can tell. In the last couple minutes of the game 3, and you saw a little bit game 4, when it's time to dig down and get a stop. If a guy shoots over you and makes a shot, hey, give him props. He made a tough shot and he made it, right? But you got these dudes. They got escorted to the rim. The Boston Celtics got escorted to the rim. And here's 2 easy points. Coming off of timeouts, right? When you have to make a defensive stop, and hey, not only were they making tough shots, they had easy shots to the rim.
Yeah.
And then just now in game 4, you're down by 2 after KD missed the free throw. Why the fuck is no one fouling? Why is no one fouling? How is it that a team not only and I don't know who got the layup, who missed the layup, who did it that Boston play? I don't know who it was. Made a stupid mistake by going at instead of just passing the ball around. He went for 2 and missed. Right? They bailed him out because they didn't foul him. They didn't foul nobody. And then and what happened was the guy got the offensive rebound and the game was over after that. This dude is in over his head. He's in over his head. He is.
You talking about Steve Nash?
Yes.
Now
he got thoroughly outcoached in this series by Ime Udoka.
Now
thoroughly outcoached.
This is what I want to say about Steve Nash, right? Clearly, he is not, the right. He should probably taking a assistant head coach job first, learn the ropes, things like that. I mean, there are just guys who are just gifted at coaching, like Steve Kerr, for example. But here's where I'm going to defend Steve Nash. It's not his fault that the organization brought this team together. The same reason why I don't think it's Frank Vogel's fault that they brought that team together. And I was pissed off that they wanted to use Frank Vogel as a scapegoat of why that team, they didn't even make it to the play-in, or nor even make it to the playoffs. I have to have the exact same consistency for Steve Nash. I'm not going to blame a coach when it was the stupid organization that put this team together. I'm not doing it. I didn't blame Frank Vogel, and I'm not going to blame Steve Nash for this. I'm not. This was all, Kevin Durant's fault. This was all Ben Simmons' fault. This was all Kyrie's fault. I'm not going to put the blame on, Steve Nash. Kyrie was the one that said, we don't need a coach. Kevin Durant was the one that said, I want, Steve Nash and to coach us. This was the players, the individuals that put that team together and wanted Steve Nash. So I'm not firing Steve Nash. And nor do I think it was fair that Frank Vogel got fired either. It's not right. Don't use him as a scapegoat when it was your organization that put this team together in the first place. A bunch of old guys, a bunch of old heads who can't play defense. You guys put that team together. And the same thing with here. Kyrie can't play defense. And as I said before, I think Kevin Durant's defense is overrated.
No, wait. Let me respond. For I think if Kyrie wanted to, he can be a better defender than he is. That's not the point. That's not the point I'm trying to make. When it comes to Frank Vogel, I can totally understand he got scapegoated. He absolutely did. I don't feel the same way with Nash. I don't feel the same way with Nash. And if you're the organization, you have to put your foot down. You have to put your foot down and be like, okay, we need to get somebody here who is going to demand better from these players. And Steve Nash didn't do it. He didn't. Whether through the, like I said, with the coaching lapses that was going on, and this overall notion that you have a player. And by the way, Toronto just won. By the way, without Fred VanVleet.
Oh wow, they won.
Yeah, they won.
Okay.
So now that series is now 3-2, and
so this is good for Miami.
Yes, Miami needs to take care of business. They need to take care of business. But I will, whatever. Like, let's stay back on track.
I could see why you said it would be a disappointment because they have to take advantage of this. I see where you're going.
Absolutely. So if you're the organization, right, you've been getting punked by KD and Kyrie this whole time, right? And that's part of bringing them there, right? Because look, let's be real. They're the second tier franchise in New York. They're the second tier franchise in New York. We all know, despite the fact that the Knicks are one of the most overrated, overhyped franchise in the history of the NBA, that's who they are. They're number one in New York. So I get the idea of appeasing to KD and Kyrie to bring them there.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But as you can see, it's not working. And you need to put your fucking foot down and tell KD, listen, we will pick the coach. Nash is done. We will get the coach. We will build this team. We will rebuild this team. Because no matter what happens, at the end of the day, they ain't going nowhere without KD and Kyrie. But we need to do things our way. And I'm sorry, Steve Nash is a byproduct of their decision making. He's a byproduct of that. And I'm sorry, like he's not fit to do this. If he had a job, with Detroit or Orlando or whatever, then it is whatever, right? But you're coaching two top players who and you need a coach that can coach egos. And Steve Nash is not that guy. He's not that guy.
So you agree with me now? You finally agree with me that you need to have the management team to take over and not the employees? You agree that employee empowerment sometimes could devastate the organization or your job or your business? You finally agree that it is the leaders, the CEOs, The management team, the supervisors, they are the one that's supposed to do their job, and the employee is supposed to do their job. So I'm finally on my side on that.
I'm not gonna go all. I'm not gonna say that you're
No,
wrong.
no, 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 no,
Wait,
no.
no. I'm gonna say this because why do you think the Phoenix Suns are good now? You think it's because of their management team?
Yeah, for
No. You
taking
think
their
it's because of
response
their owner?
on Chris Paul.
You think it's because of their owner?
It was their nice, great trade for getting Chris Paul.
Okay, and you think the owner has something to do with that?
No, I think the general manager has something to do with that.
With James Jones, former Heat player, yeah. But we know that organization stinks. That organization stinks. They have a shitty owner who's cheap, and he's also a guy who's being investigated for racism and all this other bullshit. Right? So don't sit there and say that the organization should be in charge of anything like that. Like, no, it needs to be a collective thing. It needs to be collective. Okay? Because we could look at Miami collective. It's collective. We know who runs the show. But we also know that they're not going to interfere when it comes to the coaching. They're not going to interfere when it comes to meddling in it. We don't hear none of that controversy or conspiracy bullshit going on with the Heat. You don't hear that with the Spurs. You don't hear that with what other team?
Golden State.
Like, yeah, you can say Golden State as well. Right? It's a collective thing. Because what did the Chicago Bulls did after Jordan? Immediately after Jordan left.
Nothing.
They stunk. Right? And the same guy who was like, oh, organization win championship, not just players. No, you need fucking players as well. And if they want certain things, if they want certain advantages, and we're not going to pretend that Michael Jordan didn't get special privileges. We're not going to pretend that didn't happen. Yeah, you can't talk to that because why? Because you know that if you invest in this guy, he's going to deliver for you, and we all know what Michael Jordan did. He delivered. So again, I don't mind giving KD and Kyrie power. The problem is who you gave it to. That's the problem. You want to know why you give LeBron James the power? Because he'll win you championships. He'll win you championships. That's what he did in Miami. That's what he did in Cleveland. And that's what he did in LA. Look, let's be frank. The Lakers organization, that organization is garbage. Complete garbage. The only reason why they're relevant is because of Magic Johnson, Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, and LeBron James. That's it.
What about Kareem?
Oh, yeah, Kareem. My bad. Thank you for reminding me. Kareem. Right? That organization is all the controversy, all the bullshit you hear about that organization, they're garbage. Complete and utter garbage. Ever since Dr. I forgot Jerry Buss, after he died, that organization been a shit show.
Oh, after he died, yeah.
Yeah. But you want to know why they survived? Because they had at the time they had Kobe Bryant and they had LeBron James and they had the branding built by Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, James Worthy, and the rest of those guys. That's why. So again, I understand what you're saying, and because like I said before, you can't have especially guys who don't know what the fuck they're doing running the asylum. But at the same time, you need an organization who know what the fuck they're doing also.
I agree with that.
All right, so let me read. Do you have any final thoughts on this?
No. Like we could probably, like, if it ever has a chance to come up again, we'll probably talk about it another time. But we're almost at 2 hours now. Like, and we only had one topic.
I agree.
Well, two topics. So
yeah, I agree. Let me read this from Walton, and then we can move on. Damn right, it's his fault for not taking the vaccine. His team is crumbling. Ben Simmons needs to see a psychologist.
Yes.
He could be a phenomenal player if he wanted to. Yeah, true. People are saying this guy had the skill level of LeBron James. And we're like I don't get it. Don't forget Phil Jackson.
Yeah,
that's true. But yeah, that's true. Don't forget Phil Jackson. Yeah.
Well, Phil Jackson when it comes to what?
The Lakers and stuff like
that. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, you forgot. Yeah. Now, Well, let me just address this one last thing. Do I think he needs to see a psychologist? Yes, but at the end of the day, though, he shouldn't be in. He should not be allowed to play anymore. What should happen is that all the owners should say, you know what, we don't want this guy in our team. You can't be allowed to play when you neglect your job intentionally. You demanded to be traded. You went to practice. You had your phone with you. Defiance of authority. You showed laziness, and you still expect to get paid. And then you go to another team and you do the exact same thing. You didn't play. All you did was, oh yeah, let me just shoot a couple of jump shots on my own, whatever, whatever, whatever. But yet you had a chance to play and you chose not to. Why? Because you're lazy. Because you don't care about basketball. That's why. That's why. And yes, he does need to see a psychologist. He does. I hope he gets the help that he needs, that he deserves. But from where I stand, he doesn't deserve to be in the NBA anymore. He doesn't. And I really wish that everyone would just put their foot down and say, we're not going to take this type of bullcrap anymore from players, from employees, that they expect us, to pay him, but yet they don't want to play. You do this to two franchises in 1 year. Unacceptable. I ain't accepting that crap. So from my end, he should no longer be in the NBA anymore. So now, with all that being said, let's move on because I want to say more, but we're already running out of time.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's talk about Enes Kanter. This was your topic.
Yeah. So let me just go straight to the nitty gritty when it comes to Enes Kanter. Enes Kanter, I believe he is getting blackballed. But let me just read the article and then we'll just share our thoughts and then we'll move on quickly.
Hmm.
Um, oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, his last name is Freedom now.
Yeah.
Enes Freedom continues to go after the NBA. They are trying to retire me at 29. So there he is, Enes Kanter. Let's just read what he had to say. He has been without a home in the NBA ever since being released by the Houston Rockets, in February. Freedom was acquired by the Rockets earlier this season in a trade with Boston Celtics, but they released him before he appeared in a game for them. Since then, he's been vocal about wanting to continue to play basketball, but he said that he's being blackballed by the NBA. The big man recently decided to speak further about that point while talking to Greek newspaper Intinakos.
No,
And
no, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
oh, okay, I was in Portland last year, and I averaged a double double, and we went to the playoffs. Freedom said I was a starter, and they come and tell me after a year that I forgot how to play basketball. Okay, I'm going to continue reading. But you do not. There is absolutely no way that you could have the nerve to tell somebody you forgot to play basketball if you're averaging a double double. Average. Now this is not once in a couple of games. This is not something that you do once in a while. He averaged a double double. Average. How the hell I don't know who the person is, but how the hell are you going to tell somebody that you don't know how to play basketball, you forgot how to play basketball, you're not the same player anymore, whatever it is that he said, but he's averaging a double double? Explain to me, how does that go together? Like double doubles are not easy, and there's so many players currently right now who are not averaging double doubles. And you have the nerve to say he doesn't play basketball, he doesn't know how to play basketball, or that he forgot how to play basketball while averaging a double double? Like, get the hell out of here, man. Let's continue. You don't have anything to say, right?
No, I'll finish. I'll wait till you finish.
When I started talking about what was happening in China, they stopped showing the Celtics on Chinese TV. This cost the NBA money. The NBA says that the league stands by our side when it comes to freedom of speech. I don't believe it. They said they stand on our side as long what we say helps the league's pockets. Otherwise, they'll do whatever they can to finish you. I'm saying that because they are trying to retire me at 29. However, I know that I can play 6, 7 years more because I love basketball. I'm healthy, and I believe that people can see that I deserve to be in the NBA. Absolutely, absolutely. I haven't heard anybody said anything negative or anything negative about his game, and I haven't really heard from what I've heard, he's really a good guy. Like when it comes to outside the court, like he doesn't cause any trouble. So, all right, let me read this last part. During the 2002-2001 campaign, Freedom appeared in 72 games for the Portland Trailblazers, making 35 starts. He averaged 11 points and 10.0 rebounds in 24 minutes per game. However, he only saw 11 minutes in action per contest in the 2021 NBA playoffs. This season, Freedom averaged 3.7 points and 4.6 rebounds per game in limited minutes of the Celtics. Look, what do you expect? Like seriously, what do you expect? If the guy is only playing, 10, 11 minutes, his obviously is going to diminish his stats. I honestly believe that this was a setup, in my opinion. This was a setup to diminish his minutes, and that way it would diminish his stats. That's what I think. That's what I think what's going on, because they know for a fact that they lost a whole bunch of money in China for not broadcasting their games, and as a result of that, they want to punish. They want to punish Enes Kanter, Freedom. Um, so all right, I guess I'll read this last bit and then it will be finished. While Freedom has been able to produce double doubles throughout his NBA career, he's always been seen as a liability on defensive side of the ball. That's surely a reason why teams in the league seem to be a little hesitant to sign him. His defense is definitely an area where he'd want to improve if he were ever to make it back into the league. Freedom has was drafted with the
That's not important. Let's move on. Let's move on. Are you done? Are you done giving your opinion on this?
yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. He has a very complicated um history.
Yeah, this guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he has a very
Hmm.
complicated history because he is from Turkey, and currently he's been exiled from that country while his family's still there. So he's very like you. Obviously, you can see he's very outspoken,
Yes.
right? When it comes to freedom and stuff like that, and
But before we continue though, he did constantly embrace America because he didn't have the freedom like he did when he was in
yeah,
Turkey.
yeah.
Okay.
So I was gonna mention all that too.
Okay. Go ahead. My
Like
bad.
and the thing is with him is that it's very complicated because like you said he is from Turkey. His family's in constant danger. He has no communication with his family because they've exiled him, and they're worried that if his family shows any type of real support for him, they'll kill him. They'll kill them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So he lives in constant fear, and the only thing that's protecting him is this country. So I understand where he's coming from. I understand where he's coming from.
Okay.
Right? I sympathize with his situation. That had to suck. Having to deal with a stupid, shitty government where they have your family, pretty much in a vice. Right? Now, I've heard him speak before about freedom and stuff like that, right? Because I know
Yeah.
he's been used as a tool for the right, for Fox News and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And he has said, and I heard him say this, is that Americans shouldn't complain about the freedom that they have in this country, right? And they shouldn't complain about the country. They should love this country.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't. I don't agree. Right? The freedom that you have in this country is being able to criticize this country. That's something that he doesn't have in Turkey. That's what a lot of people don't have in these other countries like Russia, China, and those other communist countries, right? It is my right to criticize this country. I acknowledge the I acknowledge the freedom that we have in this country. That doesn't mean that it gives the government the autonomy to do whatever the fuck they want, right? And me not say nothing about it. So I don't agree with him there. Now, regarding the basketball stuff, listen,
Okay.
you said that he's a nice guy. I've heard otherwise. I've heard otherwise. Okay, and maybe if you stop beefing with LeBron James and all these other people, maybe you would get an NBA job. You know what I'm saying? Like again, he's not. I don't think he's a bad person, but he thinks more of himself than what he really is.
I think
He has an ego about him that is off putting for a lot of people.
I don't think it's ego. I honestly believe because he we don't know what he has experiencing in his country. We don't.
That's fine. That's fine. But douchebag is
But
douchebag in any country. Let's be
yeah,
frank.
but the thing is though, when people say that they that they came from China or they came from, I can't remember if
Oh,
it's, wait, is it North Korea or is it South Korea?
North Korea is the one run by that stupid fat kid.
Yeah. From there, from like you said, Russia, all the Iran and all these places. When people come here, I could understand why they say, "Oh my gosh, you guys should really appreciate the freedom that you have." Because and back in my country, we can't do any of the things that you guys could do. None of
Exactly.
those things.
I get that point. I get that point of it. I get that part of it. But don't tell me how to celebrate. Don't tell me how to use my freedoms. And that it doesn't matter if he's from Turkey or he's from Dallas. Don't tell me how to use my freedoms. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think he did that.
That's exactly what he did. Like he said, "Oh, you guys shouldn't be complaining about what's going on in this country. You guys should be happy that you live here.
You don't,
Don't tell me what to do. Don't tell me what to do."
I honestly think
And
that. Go ahead.
like that's what it came off to me. So okay, McKinley said. Let me read some chat. McKinley said that that Toronto's still alive. Yeah, I mentioned that. Malta. This is what made me laugh. Malta said this is a cover because he stinks. This man scores and grab rebounds, but he can't stay on the floor. He's the worst defender I've ever watched play. And then he did mention that I wouldn't say he has an ego. He seems like a genuinely good dude. That's not what I heard from this guy about this guy. That's not what I heard. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Like now, here's the thing. When it comes to his basketball thing, like Moto's right. That dude's not a good defender, and that's why he doesn't play in the playoffs. If you're a guy who his size, right? I don't know if he's legit 70-footer, but he's close.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not a defender, you're not useful. You're not useful to any teams. And he's been on multiple teams already. He's a journeyman. Everyone at this point in time, we all know who he is. We know what he is. He's a guy. He's not a star. He's barely a role player. He's a guy.
No. You don't say barely a role player. Barely role players don't average double doubles.
Okay, but what happened? You read it. He averaged a double double in the playoffs, and he averaged double double in the regular season. He ain't do nothing in the playoffs. Why didn't he do nothing in the playoffs? The man can't defend. He's a defensive liability, and when you're that big, you can't be a defensive liability. Did you hear him say that?
No, he didn't say that.
Come on. We know what the issue is with him. Like again, I sympathize with his situation. I really do. But this is not he's not being blackballed. He's not. He's not that good. He's nothing special. He's a guy. And frankly, you don't need a 7-footer who can't play defense. You don't. Anybody who's that big can get you a double double. I've seen it happen with Hassan Whiteside. Hassan Whiteside made $100 million because he can grab rebounds and score in the paint.
Well, you better grab rebounds and score. You better.
Of course, he can do that too. The problem is he can't play defense. And let me give you a little dirty little secret about Hassan Whiteside. Hassan Whiteside is not a good defender. He can block shots, but he's not a good defender. He's not, but he's better than him. He's better than Kanter. And Hassan bounced around in the league after he left Miami. He wasn't even in the league before Miami gave him a chance. Why? Because at the end of the day, he's a liability. Michael Beasley, that dude can score 20 points anytime he wants. Why is he not in the league? Because he's a defensive liability, and he has some personal issues. Obviously, it's not about like, oh, this guy being blackballed, this guy doing this guy doing that. Do I think that the Chinese comments hurt his cause? Yes, absolutely it did.
That's the main reason why.
No, it's not the main reason why.
That's the
It's
main
not
reason why.
because look, Daryl Morey's still in the league, and I guarantee you what he said about China 1,000 times more offensive than what Kanter said, and he's still in the league. Why? Because Philadelphia sees value in Daryl Morey. There's no value in Enes Kanter. He's a guy. That's all he is.
I guarantee if he had never said anything about China, he would still be in the league right now.
Maybe not. But the facts are he's just
okay. So
I said maybe not. No, I said maybe not.
Well,
maybe not.
He's being blackballed. He would have still remained in the league if he had said anything. If he didn't say anything about China.
We already said that.
And I also think because of the stuff that he's been saying about LeBron James, I think that's what also hurt him too, because they protect LeBron James, they honor LeBron James like he's some god. That's why.
So you would sign him on a team?
Yeah.
Despite the fact that he plays no defense whatsoever, despite him being that big.
Well, I don't.
And if you put him on a team, he's going to get exposed, and that's why Portland didn't play him. Because despite him being able to grab rebounds and score in the paint, he can't defend worth shit. And in a league that's constantly evolving when it comes to switching and stuff like that, if you can't switch, then you're big, you're not going to get on the floor. So why waste a roster spot on a guy who ultimately can't help you when it matters the most? He's just a guy. That's all he is.
Yeah, I think you're being a little, harsh when you say he's just a guy.
Come on, look, you've heard of Enes Kanter before, right?
Of course I have.
You heard of him before. I knew about everything that you talked about. I knew about him. Everything when it comes to the stuff that he said about with the Turkey stuff that he's been dealing with his family, all that stuff has been known.
Mm-hmm.
But what's also been known is that despite the fact that he can get you buckets from time to time, he can't play a lick of defense.
I think you're making his defense like he's like atrocious on defense. I don't think he's that bad.
It's been the rap on him since he was in OKC. They didn't keep him. You know how many teams he's been on?
I know he was in OKC, he was in Boston, he was in Portland, he was in I can't remember the other teams he was in. Do you remember the other teams? I can't remember.
Like, I mean, I guess I have to look at his stats. I don't know why I have to waste my time doing that. But
no, you don't have to.
But like, if you're bouncing from team to team to team, you're going to get bounced out the league eventually. You're going to get bounced off the team eventually. It happened to Jeremy Lin. Like, it happened to Isaiah Thomas.
Well, Jeremy Lin, that dude could still play.
Okay, but he's not on the team.
Play. Yeah, he's but that dude, he was being blackballed. Isaiah Thomas.
Wait, okay.
Isaiah Thomas.
So how's he being blackballed?
I could blackballed. Well, hold on. I could understand the situation with Isaiah Thomas because he could absolutely score, but the problem is it's just unfortunate that the guy is just too short. I think he's like 5'8", 5'9", or something like that. The guy is just too short, and because of that, it makes him a defense, a liability. Like he tries. It's not like you can see that he does put the effort of trying to play defense. Isaiah Thomas.
Okay,
Isaiah Thomas. He tries. The problem is the only problem is he's just too short. It's just unfortunate that the average guy who's in the NBA is like 6'4", 6'5". So it's not like as if he doesn't want to play defense. The guy is just too short.
All
Like
right.
you can't.
So okay. How is Jeremy Lin blackballed from the league? What did he say?
What did he say?
What did he do?
This was a while ago, but he was basically crying on, I forgot where. He was in this, he was on this stage and he was crying and he was saying that, they didn't want to give him a chance anymore. And I felt so bad for him because he was like literally crying. And
Okay.
after he won the championship,
Mhm.
nobody signed him.
You want to know why? Because he's not that good. He's not that good. If you're good, you're gonna play in the NBA. Period. So he's not being. You know who got blackballed from the NBA? Craig Hodges got blackballed from the NBA. You know what he did? He had the nerve to criticize the president of the United States at the time at the White House, which I think was George Bush Senior. He got blackballed. Okay, Sharif Abdul Rauf from the Denver Nuggets. He got blackballed. You know what? You want to know why he got blackballed? Because he wouldn't acknowledge the national anthem. When the national anthem was playing, he turned his back to the flag. He got blackballed. What's going on with Jeremy Lin and especially with Enes Kanter? That's not being blackballed. You're not good enough. Simply, you're not good. You
So
can say
so
like Craig Hodges. He was a 3-point shooter. That's pretty much it. Abdul Rauf was a very good player for the Denver Nuggets, and he got blackballed. What's going on with Enes Kanter is not being blackballed.
so
He's not good.
when Carmelo couldn't find a job, he was being blackballed too.
No, no, he's not good. He's not good, and the only reason why he's with the Lakers is because he's friends with LeBron.
Well, he also
That's
played
it.
with Portland.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Because he was still. I think he was still starting for Portland, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was still starting for Portland. But I'm telling you, if you're not good, the league don't want you. If you show any type of liability and you come with the extra baggage like he does, you're not going to be in the league. You're not.
I like.
Let me read some more stuff from Walter, and then I'll let you respond. Like he said that, yeah, we have first world problems, not third world problems. He said this is the greatest country in the world,
Agreed.
and so many ignorant people living here say it's a horrible country. Regardless of how you feel about that, the fact is they have a right to say that. They have the right, and they have the right to say that, because that's what this country represents. So you can call them ignorant all you want. The facts are they have the right to say that.
Yeah, they are being ignorant. Like
That's fine.
they have people in this country have opportunity to advance and live the American dream. They just don't want to put in the work. That's why. And yet
That's fine.
they want to criticize this country or how saying this is unfair. No. Get your ass out of your chair and go to work.
That's fine.
Advance.
But do they
Learn a
have the right to
skill.
say? Do they
Do
have the right?
better.
Do they have
Do
the right
better
to
in
say that?
life.
Yes or no? Do they have the right to say that? Yes or no?
They have the right to say it, but they don't have any support by it.
That's fine.
They don't. If you don't have any support of why this country is bad, I don't want to hear from you. You
That's
just
fine.
talk
You know
just to
what?
talk.
And you have the right to not hear them. You have the right to ignore them. As long as you have the right to say what you want to say, there's nothing wrong with that. He said Whiteside mostly block guards. He said Jeremy Lin blackballed ? No, he wasn't. He's just not good. And I agree with this 1,000%. This guy had a lucky stretch of a month or so, and he turned the ball over too much, which people ignored. He said that Jeremy Lin couldn't drive left. He was predictable to defenders. All that shit is true. Like, he's not good. He had one good stretch with the Knicks, and like I said, if you do something good in New York, it's gonna be he's gonna get blown out of proportion.
Oh, come on now.
Just like he did.
Yeah, he had nearly almost the same treatment like Yao Ming got because he was somebody that was out of this country. He was Asian. That also was a part of it.
But here's the difference.
Not because he was just in New York.
Here's the difference. Yao Ming was drafted number 1. He was number 1 draft pick. There were expectations along with that. Jeremy Lin, like Malta said, had one lucky stretch of good play. And the fact is that he did it in New York, and that's why that got exploited. Steve, John Starks is regarded as a great player in New York. Why do you think that is? Because he played for the Knicks. He was a CBA player, right? He had a good career. I'm not trying to diminish him, but he had a good career. But let's be frank here. He was a guy. That's it. Nothing more. The Knicks treated him like he was a guy, like he was some type of super great player. He was a guy. He was just a guy. Same thing with Jeremy Lin. He's just a guy. He ain't nothing special. And just like Enes Kanter, just a guy. He's not being blackballed. He's just not. He's not good enough. Simple as that. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, but again, I honestly believe if Cantor had said nothing about, like, to me, that was basically the last straw. That was, broke the camel's back. That was the third strike. I think if he had never said anything about China, I think if he had never went after LeBron James, and have all this controversy behind him, I think he still would have been in the league. Because this only happened after he talked about China and LeBron James.
What happened after?
He no longer participated in the NBA.
This happened last year. Like, he was playing in Portland last year.
So no, he's not playing. He's not playing right now.
No, I know he's not playing right now, but he was in Portland. When he was saying all this stuff about LeBron James, this go multiple years with LeBron. But the stuff with the China stuff, like, that happened last year. And I think that, and if you want to say that that's why he's not in the league, then go ahead. But at the end of the day, we know, he has flaws. He has clear flaws that don't help you win playoff games.
Yeah. It happened. Yeah, it happened last year, and look what happened. He's not in the league anymore.
No, he's not in the league because he's not good.
I think it's because of China.
He's not.
I honestly think it's because of China.
Daryl Morey is still in the league. Daryl Morey is still in the league, and he said so much. What he said about China was far more damaging. Why? Because he's good at his job, and Enes Kanter simply is not.
Well, Enes Kanter, he's unfortunately he's not an all-star.
No, he's not. You don't have to be an all-star. You have to be a good bench player, and frankly, he's not that. He's not that. And then you bring all the other baggage along with it. Then why would they give him a chance?
Yeah, they're gonna say that it's not worth it.
It's not worth it because he's not that good. He's not good.
So he's bad. He's garbage.
As far as I'm concerned, he's garbage.
Oh,
you can't be that big and can't defend. You can't be that big and can't defend. I'm sorry, you can't. He's not good. He's not good enough. He's not. So why waste your time? He's been. All right. Let me look at his.
The problem is the fact that you say that I'm sorry. I don't care. How tall he is. You are not garbage if you are averaging double doubles. And once again, like I said earlier in the earlier when I was reading the article, this was his average. This wasn't something that he was doing, from time to time. This wasn't something that he was doing, once in a while. If you are averaging a double-double, you're not a garbage player. I'm sorry. That's somebody who's actually, putting in effort and actually contributing to help the team win. It doesn't matter how tall he is. If he's using, his length or his size as an advantage to get rebounds and to score points, good. But I'm not gonna go as far and say that he's a garbage player. I can't go that far. You're taking it too far. That's a stretch.
He's not good enough, bro. Like, it is what it is. He's not good enough. Homeboy's not good. So I mean, I have his stats right here, right? I have his stats right here.
Yeah, sure. Let me see.
Yeah.
I mean, we already read the stats already, so but
Yeah, no. Like if you look at his stats, like he has some good years.
Let me expand this on my end.
Yeah, let me get to it. Like he has some good years, but like I think the knock on him has always been his defense.
Oh, you took it out? You removed
No,
it?
no, 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 no. I'm gonna redo it. Hold on. The knock on him has always been his defense. Is defense. That's always been that's always been his bugaboo. And frankly, now look at this, right? So he started off in Utah. He spent 4 years in Utah, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, like especially year, his third and fourth year, he averages double digit points. Average 7 rebounds a game, right? So he gets traded to OKC, or I don't know if he got traded, but he goes to OKC. Averages 18 points a game when he got there, 18
Very
and
nice.
11,
That's phenomenal.
2014, 2015,
Yeah.
right? And I don't think there were. I don't wait. No, my bad. It was 2000. No. I was right. 26 games when he got when. So I think he got traded to OKC. Average 18 and 11. 18 and 11, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the next year he played 82 games. He averaged 12 and 8. Now 10 minutes less, but he averaged 12 and 8, right? And then he averaged 14 and 6, 14 and 11 for New York, 14 and 10. And then he went to Portland, averaged 13 and 8. Then he got traded to Boston,
Yeah.
averaged 8 and 7. Then got traded back to Portland, 11 and 11. That was the year. That was the year when they went to the playoffs. And then he got
Yeah.
traded back to Boston, when he went 3 and 4. Right? Like to me, and then look at his playoff stats. Like the only year where it was anything impressive was the one with Portland,
Yeah, but
11
how
and
many?
9,
But how many minutes he played though?
28 minutes.
He exactly see the difference though. That's the difference.
No, the difference is that when like they played him because they had to play him. But the problem is that he's a defensive liability. He is. He's a defensive liability. That's why and when you're and especially when it comes to bigs, you can't be a defensive liability when you're a big. You can't because you'll get played off the floor. I've seen it happen. Seen it happen with Whiteside. At times you can see it happen with even guys like Dwight Howard. Like if you can't switch, it happened to Rudy Gobert. It happened to Rudy Gobert. And Rudy Gobert is one of the greatest defensive players in the league, and it happened to him. So why do you want to waste your roster spot on a guy who's that big but can't defend?
I mean, yeah, if he can't defend, that is going to be a problem,
Yeah,
eventually.
yeah, and he's not going
But
to get any better as he gets older. He's not going to get any better as he gets older because even though I think he's 29, he's technically been in the league for a decade, and after a decade, you are who you are.
yeah,
You are
yeah,
who you are. Like
but
let me say my thing, and then I'll let you finish. Right now, when it comes to Enes Kanter, this is the final thing that I'll say about it. Like I said, I sympathize with his story. Like it sucks what happened with him in Turkey with his family. It sucks, right? But the thing is that when it comes to Enes Kanter, I've also heard stories about him having an ego. I've heard about stories about him, just kind of arguing, not necessarily arguing with teammates, but always causing issues with players and stuff like that. Like and people and look in the league in that league, if you upset the wrong people, you're gonna get blackballed. You're gonna get I was no if you upset the NBA brass, you're gonna get blackballed, right? But when it comes to Cantor, I don't think it's that situation. I definitely think the China stuff definitely hurts him.
that was the main
Definitely does.
reason.
I don't think that's the main reason. And I also don't think that he's done in the league anyway. I don't think he's done in the league. I think next year, like you said, you have a team that might need a big or whatever, and I think he'll still be in the league. I think he'll have a team next year. But ultimately, he had deficiencies, and I think those deficiencies are what is why he's not in the league now. I don't think I think the China stuff hurts him, but I don't think it's to the point where it's the only reason. It's not the only reason, because like we said before, if you can play, they'll find a place for you. But if you're a liability, especially defensively, and you have some skeletons in your closet, they're not going to waste their time with you.
Yeah, I think overall, I believe he deserves to be in the league. I believe the numbers that even that you showed, that when you give him minutes, he will deliver. And I think he was trying to make him look bad by showing numbers, but you clearly saw, and I clearly saw that if you allow him to play, he will give you points and he will give you rebounds. That's what he will give you: points and rebounds, and give you double doubles. So he's doing his job on the offensive end, and rebounds is a part of defense too. Just so you know, rebounds is also a part of defense.
Well,
So
he's a great offensive rebounder. He's an
yeah,
excellent offensive rebounder.
yeah.
As far as, but if you can't play in the playoffs because of your defensive liability, I have no use for you. I'm sorry, because that's where your bread is buttered, in the playoffs. And if you can't give me any sustainable minutes in the playoffs, I have no use for you.
Well, I think in my opinion, he deserved to play. And if you want to make him, a bench player, so be it. But at the very least, he should be in the NBA roster. At the very least, a role player coming, from the bench, something. He deserved, something. And the fact that he said something about China, I think that's the main reason why he's not in the NBA anymore. But I do hope and pray, and wish him the best. I do hope he gets another chance. Hope he improves his defense, a bit more. And yeah, I wish him the best, and I wish his family the best as well. So, but I don't want to continue on. We have other topics to discuss.
Yeah. All right. So I think this is your top. I mean, I wanted to talk about this too, but I think we have the tab open for this when it comes to Rockstar.
Oh my goodness, Rockstar. Oh my
'Cause
goodness.
I don't have too much to say about this.
Oh, you don't?
No, but I do want to say something because it's important.
Okay. Um. Okay. So, as you all know, we've had a couple of complaints with Rockstar before.
Um, you share.
No, I didn't. I didn't. I was just going to say a couple of things first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we had. Let me share it. We had a couple of complaints, with Rockstar in the recent past, and I know probably you don't care about this, but I do. I
No,
care about it a lot.
I actually do. I actually do care about this.
Oh, okay, I'm surprised because you don't care about anything, but but I honestly thought, because I know what your stance is usually is. As
Mm-hmm.
long as it doesn't affect the gameplay, I don't care. That's what your usually stance is. As
Mm-hmm.
long as the gameplay doesn't get affected, you don't necessarily care. But if you care about this, I'm actually surprised. But can you see it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Batman. Freaking. By the way, you need to go watch this movie.
Yeah,
Fantastic
no, I
movie.
will. I will. I will.
Okay. Now, Rockstar quietly removes GTA 5 content described as transphobic from the new gen release. Um, so close to 10 years after its original release, man, I can't believe it's been that long since Grand Theft Auto 5. My goodness.
Yeah.
Rockstar has quietly removed a handful of characters and jokes from Grand Theft Auto 5 that critics have described as harmful stereotypes of transgender people. As first reported by Technica, GTA community members have noted various changes to the remastered GTA version of GTA 5, available on PS5, Xbox Series X, S/S. They include characters labeled as drag queens, no longer spawning outside of cockatoos, in addition to having dialogue removed. Over on Reddit, Another user noted that a Captain Space toy with interchangeable genitalia has been cut. And this is, pretty much, the tweet, right here. Um, as community members have pointed out, the changes follows an open letter from Out Making Games asking Rockstar to remove the content, which was described as transphobic as far back as the original release in 2013. A follow-up article in Kotaku also called for the removal of the content in the new gen release. In the wake of changes, Outmaking Games said that it was thrilled by the removal of the content. IGN reached out to Rockstar for comment, but have not received any response. What are your thoughts?
Okay.
I'm going to
Now,
read a couple more stuff because I also want to address something else. But go ahead.
mhm. Now, I've been playing GTA games for probably like 15, 16 years, right? Ever
Hmm.
since I played GTA one the top down ones, but I fell in love with the series with Grand Theft Auto 3, right? And it wasn't just the gameplay, because if you look back on it, gameplay when it comes to GTA, when it comes to Grand Theft Auto, the gameplay is fun, but it's not just the reason why I play the game. Because like I said, you have games like Sleeping Dogs, True Crime, what's another
Saints
game?
Row.
Saints Row, who do things certain things better than they do in Grand Theft Auto, right? When it comes to gameplay mechanics, what makes GTA special is how they handle the open world. It's how they handle the characters. The pretty much the scene. What GTA is. It's a exaggerated version of what we see in everyday life,
Yes.
right? Where you have your standard hillbilly. Like you have these stereotypes that are accentuated in a way that's both like funny but also smart and done intelligently, right? And and you know what my stance is. I don't have the same issues with trans people that you do. I don't. What bothers me about what they're doing here is that I figured that Rockstar was a company that would not kowtow to pressure. And look, I don't have nothing against out making gaming. They feel what they want to feel. It's fine. They can believe what they want to believe. But if you have conviction in your content, right? You shouldn't have to be forced to remove anything from your content if you have conviction as to how you really feel, or whatnot. And I'll give you an example. Hold on. I'll give you an example.
Hmm.
Seth MacFarlane, he's the creator of Family Guy, right? He made a comment, I think it was a couple years ago, where he said that he was going to stop making fun of gay people in his cartoons, right?
Hmm.
And the thing is that I never, not one time did I ever think that you hated gay people,
Who?
right? Steph MacFarlane
Okay.
with the jokes. Just like I didn't believe that you hated, rednecks, which you made fun of. Just like you made fun of black people, which you made fun of. I never thought any of these things because ultimately I knew what it was. It was a TV show that was an exaggerated depiction of that universe. I knew what it was. And I thought that as the creators of their product, I thought that's what I thought you knew what you were doing also, right?
Hmm.
I give you another example. South Park. South Park has stayed the same throughout all these years, and they've gone 20 plus years. Not one time did they ever apologize for anything or kowtow to any pressure, because at the end of the day, they knew what they were doing. They were making it was satire. It wasn't meant to be taken seriously. It wasn't taken to be offensive. It was meant to be a joke.
Yeah.
And that's what I thought Rockstar represented. Because I know what they're talking about. You see them like they have. I don't. They probably removed it in the next gen versions, and I'm surprised they haven't removed it in the last gen versions. Frankly, But you see, but they made cracks on transgenders and all the other stuff in the past before, just like they do with everything else. They do it with everything else, and we all know that all it is just satire. They make fun of conservatives. They make fun of liberals. They make fun of rednecks. They make fun of black people. They make fun of white people. They make fun of Hispanics. They make fun of everybody. Everybody can get it because at the end of the day, all it is just a exaggerated depiction, a satire of what this world is. And then you put together a great story and whatever, then you have a perfect blending.
Yeah.
Like I said, this is not gonna make me not want to play um GTA 6. What and it's not and removing this is not gonna make me it's not gonna make me want to not play GTA 5. What don't want me to make to play GTA 5 is that we had the same fucking game for 10 years. That what doesn't make me want to play. It has nothing to do with the trans stuff. But I can't tell you that this is not a good sign for GTA 6 because any group can complain about the content you put in there, and then you're just going to kowtow to them and just remove it
Yeah.
without standing by your convictions. You know what I'm saying? Like and to me, I just it's disappointing because I figured that they had enough faith in their content to stand by it, and be like, no, we're just it's just satire. We don't hate trans people. Like we're just it's just a joke, basically. But that's what they did, and I can't say that I can't say that I'm looking forward to GTA 6 because I can't, because if this is the mindset you're going to get when you're going to remove you pretty much compromise your identity. What else are you going to compromise on? You've already compromised on single player content for the game, and for in exchange for the online. You've already did that.
Yeah.
So like yeah, Malta asks if they also removed the PS3 and 360 versions of GTA 5. I don't know. I have no idea, and I mean I'm not going to find out because like I'll be damned if I'm playing the PS3 version of this game.
Didn't
Or
you have the PS3 version
yeah, I
before?
did. Yeah, I did. And then the PS4 version came with the PS4 that I bought.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to play it again because I was hoping, I wanted to see the graphics, whatever, and the improvements and stuff like that. But I'm done playing the game. So I'm done playing GTA 5. Like I want them to make GTA 6, but I'm worried because like I said, they're losing their identity just to appease a group of people. And like I said, I don't have a problem with these people. But if you're going to do that, oh yeah, that's right. Hold on a second. I just saw this. Yeah, they removed the
I was actually going to read that.
they removed that in GTA 5, and look, I don't give two shits about the Confederate flag. If you guys want to fly that loser flag, that's fine.
Yeah, but here's where I wanted to say. So it
Mhm.
basically said this is not the first time Rockstar has opted to remove the controversial content. The Confederate flag was removed. And I remember this is when before you went on. This is where I said I was going to read the next of it,
Mhm.
the rest of it, and I was going to tell you how I felt. And from certain locations in Grand Theft Auto 5 back in 2015, where it was replaced with the American flag.
And
GTA.
they also did that with I forgot the guy's name in Vice City. The redneck guy, he had a Confederate flag, and they removed that too.
Oh, on the remastered.
Hmm.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. So GTA 5 released on PS5. Yeah. Significant has load time. Okay, whatever. All right. Now, here's my take on this. Right,
Hmm.
when it comes to Grand Theft Auto, we all know exactly what that game pretty much represents. It pretty much represents, like you said, what real life is, but just a bit exaggerated.
Hmm.
It's more, you know what life is like, but in a video game. And because they use that strategy, because they use that type of gameplay, Grand Theft Auto was so good was that even casuals like to play it. There were so many girls that would want to play Grand Theft Auto just by driving around, walking around, just enjoying, virtual reality pretty much. Because it's like real life, but in a video game. So even casuals, was enjoying the game a lot. They didn't care about the story. They didn't care about advancing through the game. All they wanted to do was just drive around, play around, and enjoy um all the stereotype, all the violence, but that's in within the video game. You know what I mean? 'Cause the same way how we enjoy movies. We all know when it comes to violence that we don't want this to happen in real life, but because we could live outside of that while in a video game, reading comics, reading novels, or watching a movie or playing a game, we can enjoy it, right?
Mhm.
Stereotypes should not be any different. It should not. Removing trans, I guess, stereotype or whatever you want to call it, when you remove that stuff, it's no longer GTA anymore. It's not GTA anymore. What made GTA special is exactly what you said. It's about enjoying how real life is like in a video game. Because in real life, there is good things that's happened, but there's also violence. There's protesting. There's disagreements. There's the left. There's the right. All of that stuff is being put in this video game throughout history. And obviously, when it comes to jokes and things like that, all of that stuff is included. By removing this, it's no longer GTA anymore. This is not GTA anymore. And how and explain this to me. How does it make any sense that you remove this, but yet we could still kill people? We could still have, you could still have, your fun time, with escorts. They still curse in the game. The game is still rated M. Tell me, how does this make any type of sense at all? If you have so much guilt of having to stereotype transgenders or make fun of transgenders, then just make the game a PG game. Make it a PG game. Make it a rated E game if you truly have an issue with that. If you truly have an issue, let me go back to the top
Mhm. I
to
agree
where,
with you there, man.
if you truly have an issue of being, oh, you don't want to be transphobic, stop making the game. Stop making the game completely. Make a brand new Grand Theft Auto game, or you know what? Remember the Grand Theft Auto game that we played back in the PS1 days? Just make that Grand Theft Auto again,
I
where
agree. I agree with you.
just where you just watch from the top view. You just, all you do is just drive around shooting at people. That's pretty much it. No dialogue whatsoever. No dialogue.
I
Because
agree.
you're compromising the video game's original identity. You compromising what originally make the game special by getting rid of this. And this is the and look, Havino, I think you and I had this conversation before. This is similar to what happened when we had this is similar to what happened when we talked about games, movies, comedians, novels, comics, all that other stuff, music. All of those things can be all of those things can be compromised just because you want to appease 1% of the group. Don't compromise what made your franchise special just so you could cater to a small group of people. That doesn't make any sense, because now you're alienating everybody else.
And let me respond to that. Right now, they're not alienating me. Like I said before, I like, it doesn't bother me that the comments are not there. What bothers me is that they are willing to change who they are. They have no conviction in what they're what they're doing. They have no conviction. Because if you believe what you're doing is just satire, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you don't need to kowtow to anybody. You should be able to tell a story, create a world without having to tiptoe around any type of controversy that that you know would that will get them in trouble. Because I remember back in the day, every time there was a controversy that came up eventually, when parents, when the next GTA game came out, parents were upset with this, they were upset with that, and they pretty much didn't they didn't really go. They didn't kowtow to that fear. The only thing that they really did was the whole hot coffee thing, and that was more of a legality issue because, like I said, video games at the time didn't have sexual content,
Yeah.
and it was in there, and they had to remove it. You know what I mean? But with this, you're pretty much doing, and like I said before, I don't have a problem with these people who are offended. My problem is that you don't have the conviction to defend your art. You don't have no conviction because, again, no one would say that, oh, that this company hates transphobic game, like they wouldn't say this company is transphobic, because if you say that they're transphobic, then you should say that they're racist, that they're Marxist,
Yes.
that they're anti aliens, whatever the fuck, right? You like, because at the end of the day, everybody is they're used as comedy fodder for the games. Comedy, whether it's from characters or from content when it comes to the radio programs and stuff like that, all of it is just content to create content.
Mm-hmm.
Used from satire, used exaggerated um from exaggerated characteristics that we see in our daily lives. Whether it's from movies, from other games, from from news, whatever, from current events, whatever. All it is just, and they don't have the conviction to stand by their content, and that's what makes me worried about GTA 6. Is why I stopped. Is one of the reasons why I stopped playing the GTA remaster, because it's not the game. It's not even an improvement of the games that I played before. And you remove content. And to me, when I thought about it, I was just like, I it was just disappointing. And maybe it wouldn't disappoint me so much if the game fucking worked the way it's supposed to. It worked better than it's supposed to.
Yeah.
Not a downgrade of what we had before. But at the end of the day, like, if you're just going to just kowtow to anyone, criticizing you, then how can I trust you to create the best content for GTA 6? I can't trust you.
Yes.
I can't trust you. So, like I said before, I like, and again, I don't. This is not about wanting to hear jokes about transgender people. It's not about that. What it's about is about having your art not compromised, and standing by what you create. And if you can't stand by what you create, then I can't stand by it. Basically, I can't do it. But we'll see. We'll see. Like I said, we'll see. Do you have
Yeah.
anything else to say, or we can move
Yeah.
on?
There was two two more things,
Yeah, go ahead.
because we mentioned other like companies and other businesses and things like that. When it comes to Grand Theft Auto
Mhm.
or any violent video games in the past, I want these video game companies, these publishers, comedians, people, directors, etc., etc., etc. I want them to do one thing that they have always done in the past. Back in the day, do you remember all the controversy that Mortal Kombat used to have, of it being a violent game and all
Oh
the
yeah, yeah,
blood
yeah,
and the
yeah.
fatalities? Now we seen that with Grand Theft Auto. We've seen that with Mortal Kombat. And then we also seen that, I don't know if you remember this, but the huge controversy that Manhunt had,
Mm-hmm.
I think it was Manhunt 2.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you remember the situation, the controversy, it was even on the news when Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 had that one mission where you shoot the people in the airport.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You know what, at least most of them, you know what they did? They ignored it and continued on with their game. They
Well,
ignored
with Call of Duty, what they did is that they gave you an option to do that mission or not.
I was going to
Yeah.
say that.
Yeah.
I was just about to say that. But before I get to that part,
Mm-hmm.
everybody, I don't care if it was Mortal Kombat, I don't care if it was Grand Theft Auto, I don't care if it was Manhunt, whatever, etc., etc., etc. People, the developers, the publishers, the directors, they ignored the backlash, they ignored, the controversies, and they continue making their game because they knew what they were doing. They knew that, this is a product that they wanted to make. Who cares what you guys think? Who cares if you feel like, this is, racist or sexist, or this is, transphobic or homophobe, whatever it is. We're going to continue making our game. We are going to continue making our movies. We are going to continue with our novels. We are going to, like, and especially, with the whole comedian stuff. I remember I mentioned to you that I'm afraid that we're probably not going to have comedians anymore because, because you joking about anybody and everybody is what makes, comedy special. By making fun of everybody, nobody has the exception, nobody is excluded. And I feel the exact same way when it comes to this right here. And when it comes to Call of Duty, when everyone had that controversy, they gave you the option to, if you wanted to play that mission or not.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I remember you and I had this conversation. Now, tell me if you remember this. No, it wasn't you. It wasn't you. My bad. I think it was Fred, my friend Fred.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you remember Fred.
Yeah, I remember.
He he said that he couldn't play that mission.
Mm-hmm.
He said that all he basically did, was just walk around and let the AI do all the shooting.
Yeah.
I shot people in the video game. I shot as much people as I could because I knew it was a video game. But
Mm-hmm.
what they did was they gave you the option if you wanted to play that mission or not. They gave you the option. Rockstar could have easily done the exact same thing. If you have the ability to remove this content, you also have the ability to give us the option if you want if you want that content to remain in the game or not.
You know,
If,
you know.
if
No, go
Go
ahead,
ahead,
go ahead, go ahead.
go ahead,
No,
go ahead.
no. Okay. I personally, I don't know. I don't know if I'd be. I don't know if I'd be okay with that either. I don't think I'll be okay with that either
Well,
because
Call of Duty did it.
no. That's different. That's different. That's gameplay. That's gameplay related. That's
Okay.
gameplay related. I'm talking about trying to create a world building. Right? It's very different. Like I don't know if I can explain it the right way, but that's different. That mission, like what I did, I actually started shooting people at first,
Oh,
and
you
then I
did.
felt but then I
Okay.
felt I like legitimately I felt guilty. So I stopped, and the only thing I shot was police officers and security.
Okay. Now you are talking about the airport mission, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
That's what, and I think that's what the developers were going for. I think that's what they were going for,
what
and
do you mean?
like I think what they wanted to do was they put you in a situation because I haven't played this game in forever, but
Yeah.
if I remember correctly, you are undercover, you're infiltrating, um, the bad guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're pretty much you're in there doing this mission where you have to shoot innocent people in the airport,
Yes.
right? And like I think what they wanted you to do is they wanted to put you in that situation. What would you do to? 'Cause remember, the guy who's infiltrating, he's doing this for the betterment of the United States.
Yes.
But
I remember. Yeah.
what are you willing to do to help your country? And are you willing to pretty much fuck over innocent people in another country in order to do it?
Yes.
I think that's what the developers were going for.
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes to this is more about world building, because again, that's what's important about GTA is the world itself, and we know that this world that we live in are full of people who are ignorant, arrogant, self-centered, obnoxious, probably homophobic, transphobic, racist, all that stuff. We know all these people exist,
Yes.
right? But we know that a lot of these people try to hide it. And what GTA was about was just like, hey, putting all that shit out there. Imagine a world where all that stuff is out there, and you're in this world. Why do you think that? Why do you think there's no kids in GTA?
Oh, that
Why?
makes sense. That's a very good point. I
Yeah,
never noticed that.
yeah, there's no kids in GTA. They reference them, but there's no kids in GTA. The closest thing you got to kids were Michael's kids in GTA 5. And even then they were pretty much teenagers.
You know what? That makes so much sense. There wasn't any schools. Yeah,
Yeah, no schools, no nothing.
yeah,
They have playgrounds, but like, that's pretty much it. But they don't have kids.
right.
And the reason why is because, like, even with everything that they did, all the raunchy stuff that they did, they had a line. They had a line. And I'm sure it was directed to them that, yo, we don't put no kids in the game. I'm sure that was directed to them.
Correct.
But
Yes.
everything else was because we all know that the one thing that we all should be for is protecting children.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? But everything else was on limits. And if you're going to sit there and pick and choose, I don't like the idea of picking and choosing the content that you consume. Either it's there or it's not there. It's
But
there or not there. Go
can
ahead.
you explain? But can you explain one more time? I don't know if you answered the question or not. But
Mhm.
what's the difference between that and what happened at Grand Theft Auto, or better yet, I remember you mentioned how Nintendo removed the blood from Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but what is the difference between that and removing certain content on Grand Theft Auto? Isn't it the same thing?
No, I did think that the way that the games are known for are different. What the games are known for is different. Now, when it came to Mortal Kombat and Super Nintendo, like, Nintendo were being dumb because we all know what made Mortal Kombat a popular game. It was the violence.
Yes.
It was the violence. That's what it was known for. That's why it was popular. And if you're just going to be, and it was the hottest game out at the time. So all you're doing is giving Sega, who had pretty much the blood in it, you're just giving people a reason to play the Sega Genesis version.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You know what? That's a very good point. Very
It,
good
it
point.
was it, was a dumb because we don't because especially back then, like, violence in video game wasn't that demonstrative. So you're just giving everyone a reason to give the Sega Genesis version a try.
Yeah.
But when it comes to this, it really is about just world building, right? Being able to create a world where all of people's stereotypes are put to 11, are turned up to 11. That's what makes these games special.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said before, there's Sleeping Dogs. You had True Crime. You had all these other sandbox games who did things gameplay wise better than Grand Theft Auto. But what none of those games can emulate is how they made the world.
Absolutely.
None
One
of
hundred
those games
percent.
can none of those games can emulate the world building that Rockstar did with GTA. And if you're going to pick and choose what we make fun of because some people are offended, then you don't have the conviction to stand by your content, then yeah, that's a disappointment in my opinion.
Yeah, it's special preferences. It seems like what they're doing. It's special preferences, and they basically going to compromise the game's original identity. I know we use that a lot, in
Hmm.
certain, in different, topics,
Hmm.
but you basically compromising the video game's original identity by having that stuff removed, and it's no longer, somewhat, real. Not, well, I don't want to say real life, but it's no longer something that's trying to simulate real life, because that's what happens in everyday life even currently.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Like you said, if I drive down South Beach right now, you don't think I'm gonna see a trans person out in the corner?
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like in GTA, everything like again, a um you'll see a hooker on the side of a street, but they're not gonna be like in GTA where they're just all in a row. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
They're not gonna do that, but we know that shit happens.
Yeah,
We know that exists, and what GTA is just an exaggerated version of that. And I just think that if you're just going to just kowtow to one group of people, and like I said, I don't have a problem with transgender people. I don't, and I don't think, but I also don't think that Rockstar is being transphobic by making a couple of jokes. Because if I thought they were transphobic by making a couple of jokes, then I would think that they're everything else I mentioned. You know what I'm saying? Because they make fun of everything. Nothing is off limits.
yeah. And one last thing, and
Mhm.
before we move on, because I really do enjoying this topic, but I know we have to move on.
Yeah.
Everybody could agree 100% that killing people, stealing people's vehicles, etc., 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 is far worse than a meaningless joke. Far worse.
Agreed.
So you mean to tell me that removing transphobic, being transphobic, is a lot worse than you actually killing a whole bunch of people, or you have the police after you and killing policemen, killing killing escorts, killing pedestrians. All you mean to tell me that is far worse than just saying a couple of jokes?
Right.
I think I find that to be way worse. So once again, if you're going to try to make Grand Theft Auto a PG video game, a rated T, rated E video game, then stop making Grand Theft Auto games. Start from scratch. Start from scratch, and we have that up view. I know there's a proper way to say it. I just can't remember what's the proper term, where we
Mhm.
have that regular watching from the sky, and all you just do is just run around, shoot a bunch of dots, get into vehicles,
Well,
and
you
there's your
can
Grand Theft Auto.
Lego City Undercover. That's pretty much a GTA game with none of the other content, so
I,
they can play
I,
that.
I never I never played it. You played it?
No, no.
Oh, okay.
It definitely don't look like I said before. Like Lego games are not. I think a lot of Lego games are really good. It just it just the art style is not my thing.
Yeah, I love playing that Batman and Robin Lego game, and I think they made a Indiana Jones Lego game too.
Hmm.
And I thought the games were very good, but the only thing is, I grew up with Batman as a serious dark character, not this friendly kitty Lego character. Like I just wasn't feeling it. I think the game would have obviously been good if it was just something else,
Yeah.
but not Batman. But anyway, um, one last time, you should go see this movie.
Hmm.
You go see this movie, but I really like this topic. I am very disappointed in Rockstar. What they did. I think they should just keep what they make the game special, and how you had a very successful franchise. That's what I want. But by doing this, like I said before earlier, you're no longer making Grand Theft Auto anymore. That's not how Grand Theft Auto was viewed originally. And I think you compromising the game just for a small percentage of people, which I'm pretty sure, if you're afraid of the woke mob, like what's going to happen? Do you honestly think that people are going to boycott and protest against the game, and people are not going to buy the game? That's not going to happen. People are still going to buy the game. Gamers are still gamers. You know what I'm saying? Like, gamers are still gamers. They are still going to buy it. People are still going to enjoy it. But that's why I said you're alienating most of your fan base just to appease a certain amount of people. And it's going to get worse. I'm telling you, it's going to get worse. And I am very disappointed, because cancel culture is just going to continue to take over. it has invaded in our comic books. It's invaded in our movies. It's invaded in all the comedians, and now it's invaded into our games. And I am really pissed off about that. But anyway,
All right, last topic. I mean, you want to start this or should I?
now you can.
Okay, we're gonna. I don't want to make this too long, but I think I think it's inevitable that we're gonna have to talk about this
Hmm.
for a minute because this is a very important. This is actually very important, right?
Yeah,
So
man.
there was a news article a couple weeks ago that came out about Microsoft, right? With Game Pass and stuff like that. As you see the title from Kotaku, future Xbox games might have ads, tech being developed, right? Now
Yeah.
now this is something that has been linked to Sony as well. Let me see if I can find the article for Sony as well. 'Cause I remember this article from Sony. I know I've heard of it before, right? Like this
Hmm.
idea of ads in video games is not new, right? And if you play games on cell phones, they have these ads and shit like that, right? Like
Whoa, oh, dude, there was, ooh, looks
what?
like my bad. Looks like there was going
Oh,
to
oh
be a
yeah, yeah,
fight
yeah,
going
yeah,
on.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Oh, you
yeah,
saw that?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I have the game on right now.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, that was nothing. That was nothing.
No, yeah, just pushing and shoving,
No, no,
and
no. I'm talking about from Whiteside. Like he didn't do nothing wrong. He didn't do
yeah,
nothing wrong. He
yeah,
blocked. He tried to put he tried to get him up. Like and it's just Dallas players being sensitive.
yeah. I think what happened, with what's his name? Crap, I forgot. With oh my gosh, I can't get his name out of my mouth. The guy that was
Whiteside.
about to score. Um,
Oh, Doncic.
oh my gosh, yeah, Dante. Yeah, I just think what happened was he just landed kind of awkwardly,
Mm-hmm.
and he hit the ground. But I don't think that had anything to do with what Whiteside did. He just unfortunately landed, really hard, to the ground. That's just pretty much it.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So like you said, the article's right here with Sony. So I'm not trying to pick sides or whatever. Because unfortunately, when it comes to
What did it say
what
on the title?
for Sony,
Hmm.
Sony is also reportedly planning to put ads in PlayStation games.
Oh, okay.
So unfortunately, with the rise of free to play games on consoles, this is something that could very well be inevitable, right? And then you also have, you know, Game Pass, which a lot of people laud and love because of I can play all these games for a certain amount of money a month or whatever.
Yes.
And I actually have a YouTube not YouTube Twitter video that I want to play here. Let me see if I can find it right here.
Hmm.
Let me see if let me see. Let me see if I can find it. If I can't find it, then I'll just search for it. 'Cause I know I put a message on there. I know I liked it,
Hmm. Is it
but
about is it about the topic?
yeah, it's about the topic,
Okay.
and it's from Colin Moriarty. Yeah, I guess I'll let me search for it. Yeah, it's on, and I agree with him 100%. Like I agree with him 1,000%. Let me see if I can find the clip.
Yeah. So it was a tweet that he said.
No, no, it was just a statement. It was a
Okay.
statement that he said about this topic.
Okay. Okay.
Ah, damn. All right. Let me look for him in the videos. All right, there you go.
Oh,
Can you
fine.
hear? Can you hear this?
Fucking heinous with a capital H.
Start
And
over.
it
Oh wait a
would
minute! Oh, my
make
bad, my bad,
people
my bad, my bad,
hate
my bad, my bad,
Microsoft.
my bad, my bad. This is not it. This is not it.
Oh man.
Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can find this. Okay, this. I hope this is it. Nope, that's not it either. I know I know I had it. I guess I gotta go to my I gotta go to my profile. Okay. Let me see if it's here. Let me go to media. I know it's too late to be doing this bullshit, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I should have had this. I should have had this ready. Oh man. Let me go back. Okay. Let me go back to search.
Mm-hmm.
Cause yeah, there we go. Let me go. Okay, there we go. This is it right here.
Okay, you found it.
Can you hear?
This is happening.
Can you hear that?
Like,
Yeah.
And I just want to reiterate
Yeah.
that all of you motherfuckers that refuse to pay for anything are the reason that this is happening. It, like they say in the Business Insider story itself, it's because of the rise of free-to-play games. We are being invaded. I don't think many people listen to this show that would be part of the group that I'm mad at, but maybe some. We are being invaded by groups of gamers that refuse to pay for experiences and will have to be monetized through force. And that's going to affect everyone. And it sucks.
You heard that?
Yeah. Is that a podcast?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna give them a shout out. I get you. So you follow them.
Yeah, I follow Colin.
Okay. Well, yeah. Let me know. The link so I could because I would now by that one small statement that he said, I actually want to listen to the whole thing. So when you get a chance, let me know.
I got you.
Give him
But
a
yeah,
shout.
but this is inevitable. This is inevitable. Like Microsoft, they can't just give you free shit every fucking time and not you're not gonna pay for it. You know what I'm saying? Like they're going to they're going to figure out a way to make money off of Game Pass. They're going to, and this is what they're going to do. And frankly, Sony's going to do the same thing. They're going to do the same thing. Now, when it comes to like I don't think I told you this, right? But one of the reasons why I bought that Xbox controller, the one that I bought that lights up,
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't intending on buying that. What I was going to do is I got this tablet for pretty much like $20, right? And I don't really need the tablet. So what I was gonna do is I was going to use that tablet as pretty much a way to just play, play like old games or whatever, right? Like play old Super Nintendo, Game Boy Advance games or whatever, right? Emulation. The thing is that I can't put an actual emulator in here.
You can't
So
put an emulator in the tablet.
No, I mean I probably can, but I have to go through. I have to like search for it and all the other shit, right? But what's the easier option is going to the Google store and downloading an emulator
Yes.
because they're available. The thing is that those emulators have ads.
Oh.
Unless I pay for it
Right.
outright, but they have ads, right? And I don't want to play my games like that. I don't want to play Mario and I have to wait till the fucking ad plays before I can play it. I don't want to do that. And I damn sure don't want to do that in a console game. I don't want this. Now, is now, if they only have it for free to play games, would it be something that could be acceptable? I don't know because like everything is going to be free to play soon. That's the model that the gaming industry is heading in. You know what I'm saying? So and then you have Game Pass, which is going to which is existing and stuff like that. Like like this is the direction that the gaming industry is going, and frankly, I'm not here for it, but I just feel like it's something that's going to be inevitable. What's your thoughts?
Oh, okay. I thought I wanted you to read the article and then
Oh,
I was going to give my opinion.
let me see. Let me see if there's anything. Okay, raise your hand if you're excited to see more ads inside your video game. I don't see any hands. Well, bad news. The new report claims that Microsoft
That's funny. That's funny.
is building an advertising program to give select brands the ability to buy ads that will appear in free-to-play Xbox games. And while the report says Microsoft and Xbox are being careful not to irritate players um, or disrupt games, it's unlikely most folks will enjoy starting to see in-game ads. Now, let me add to this, right? Because NBA 2K got in a lot Take Two got in a lot of trouble for putting ads in NBA 2K.
Well, really?
hmm What they would do is when the game's loading, they would play an ad.
Oh, while it's loading.
hmm
Okay.
And a lot of people were pissed off about that. Me, I wasn't as pissed off because I figured that was part of the. Cause look, when you're watching a real basketball game, you waiting for the game to start. You're gonna see ads. You're gonna see commercials, right?
Of course.
So it's like it's not the same. You're pretty much emulating a television broadcast. You're emulating a television broadcast. So that didn't excuse me. So that didn't really bother me. You know what I mean?
But I don't understand why fans or gamers was upset because while the game is loading, you can't play anyway.
No, people don't want ads in their games, man. Like they don't want ads in their games.
Yeah, yeah, but you still can't play. You're just gonna watch a TV that's. I mean, you're gonna watch a screen that's just basically loading.
You know what? I think most people just don't like the idea of ads in their games, and they don't like they and we know how the gaming industry is.
Yeah.
When you give them an inch, they're gonna take a mile.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think that's where I think the prospect of a company adding more ads in the game and being more intrusive is something that I think they look at and they're like, oh, I don't know if I like this. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So
Hmm.
yeah. Let me see if there's any. Let me see if there's really any more. Let me see if there's more to it. All right.
Well,
Yeah. Go ahead.
no, I was gonna say, what about the third paragraph?
All right. Business Insider reports that Microsoft wants to work with ad tech companies to create a system that will allow brands and advertisers to buy and place ads in free-to-play Xbox games, according to two people who spoke to Insider and who are reportedly involved in the program ongoing plans and negotiations. According to these sources, the ads would appear as digitally rendered billboards in a racing game or open world adventure. However, it's currently unknown what other forms these free to play ads could manifest or if they will include video or audio. Business Insider was also unable to confirm if Microsoft and Xbox has started pitching advertisers and brands on the new ad system. Regardless, it's expected to launch around the third quarter this year. This
Hmm.
year. And
This year.
I didn't know that. I
Wow.
definitely didn't know that.
Wow.
A spokesperson for Microsoft told Kotaku that while it's always looking for ways to improve the experience for players and developers, the company had nothing further to share about the reported ad system.
Hmm.
So I didn't know this. I didn't know this was this year. It's going to be very interesting to hear. It's going to be very interesting to hear how Phil Spencer tried to spin this. Because I follow quite a few Xbox people on my timeline. A lot of them are not okay with this. But are they going to criticize Microsoft for it? I don't think so. But they're showing that they're not happy about this. I don't know if they'll go to the strength of them not buying anymore or leaving or whatever. But this is going to happen, and especially when it comes to Game Pass. Like again, and I know you. I forgot to mention. I apologize for this, but I know you wanted to talk about what's going on with Netflix, right?
Yeah.
Right, and I thought about it, and while obviously Netflix is not part of what we normally talk about on here, I do think there is one correlation that makes these situations similar.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when it comes to Netflix was really, I would say, the first streaming platform that when it came to like multimedia content.
Yeah.
That I can think of. Like is the oldest one, is older than Hulu, Disney Plus, all these companies, right? Is
Yep.
the founding father.
Yeah.
And I have Netflix, and I have all these other sites, and I have these other I have all these other streaming ones, right? It's the only one that doesn't play ads. The only one that plays no ads. But
Yeah.
what was gonna happen sooner rather than later? They're gonna put ads in the they're gonna put ads in their content now. They're
Oh
gonna
my
put ads,
goodness.
yeah, they're gonna put ads in their content now. And the whole thing when it comes to their shares plummeting and stuff like that. I don't know why it happened, but yeah, it was a big deal that happened. Well, no, what happened was what they're going to do is they're going to crack down on people sharing their Netflix accounts.
Yeah, that's what I was. That's what I wanted to talk about. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
And this is something that they've been talking about for a little while, but they're definitely that's when they're starting. And the thing with Game Pass that I wanted to discuss the thing that I wanted to kind of correlate between the two is when are we going to get to that point with Game Pass? When are we going to get to that point? But the Netflix has never made a profit. They're constantly in the red.
They never ever made a profit.
To my knowledge, they haven't. Because they spend so much money on projects, but the thing is that they have so many subscribers that I don't know if I don't know how business works, but I'm under the impression that they've never made a profit off of Netflix.
Well, yeah, that's because they kept on investing so much in new
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, like you said.
And yeah, but like they're still successful. They're still a brand name. But like you said, they're going to be adding ads into their content now. They're putting ads in, and we all know how popular Game Pass is right now,
Mm-hmm.
and how far they're willing to go. Because, like I said, Phil Spencer likes to pride himself on being Mister Mister Pro Consumer, Mister Nice Guy, and all the other stuff. Like this is a very anti-consumer move, very anti-consumer, but is also a move that can make them lots and lots of money.
Now, here's the thing, though,
Mm-hmm.
and I was now I don't know if you remember. Let me see. I don't know if you can see this, but anyway, I don't know if you remember. Well, no, I'm pretty sure you do remember because I kept saying this over and over and over again, and I'm going to say it, again because it's warranted. Like it just needs to be said constantly. I have said that, and I said this years ago, that we as gamers, as consumers, are going to continue to lose control on what we own. I kept saying that. I said I think I told you this and I told Yoshi this. The more we continue to support all these, subscription stuff, the more that we continue to support, all digital stuff, we are going to lose control. And we will no longer have a say of what goes in and what goes out. We no longer have a say anymore. We have a say if we bought the original product. That's why I was always in favor of constantly buying physical copies. not this digital BS. I'm not in favor of it because I knew this was going to happen. Like I knew it because it doesn't really make it because it's already happening with mobile gamings now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you remember this, but when we first had our old phones, do you remember the evil phones we used to have?
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't know if you was playing games back then,
Yeah, I
but when
played Angry Birds.
yes, I played Angry Birds and I was playing this other like this strategy shooter.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot what it was called, but it was robot something. It was this strategy shooter where enemies are invading, your base, and then you start shooting them and whatever. There were no ads. I don't know if you had ads on Angry Birds, but
I did. I did.
oh, you did.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as far as me, there were a lot of games that were available back then. They didn't have any ads. But then more ads started coming out, more ads, it started to become more annoying to where I just said to myself, oh man, it's just a nuisance.
Yeah,
But it just becomes a nuisance.
but
The,
the
go
thing the
go ahead.
thing is, yeah. Let me. But the thing is that we want our content creators to make money. You know what I'm saying? If you're making something that I'm playing, or you're making something that I enjoy, I want you to get paid for it.
Okay, that's fine. But in most cases, at least back then, they gave us the option to buy the game.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think so. Yeah.
We
I mean, I never bought Angry Birds, but you know.
their games, you can't. They don't even give you the option to buy them. You don't have the option to buy them. It's just constantly, free to play, so that they can continue to nickel and dime you every time. But
Mm-hmm.
there is no one time buy to where now you no longer have to deal with ads and you don't know have to deal with extra downloads. No, it's no longer that way anymore. Back then, once back then you had the option to download the game for free, or if you had the option to buy it. You don't have the option to buy anymore. So the ads is going to keep coming your way. This is the reason why I hated to support the subscription services, because I remember we started seeing a trend where movies or publishers was removing their movies from Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remember the story where Comcast was upset with with WWE. The controversy of Disney, and I remember I was telling everyone, dude, this is going to keep happening. Don't be surprised if Paramount starts doing it. And people laughed at me. They're like, oh, it's not going to go that far. And look where we are. I'm not going to be constantly paying for. So you mean to tell me you have to pay for Xbox, you have to pay for PlayStation, Nintendo, Netflix, Hulu, Disney? Do you see the madness?
I have all those things, and I'm paying for all of them.
Like it is, dude. That's almost like a whole freaking check.
Yeah.
It is madly expensive. And then we're talking about ESPN. Or ESPN is part of Disney, isn't it? That's part of
Yeah, but you, like I have the bundle, but if you want to buy it separately, you can.
Okay, yeah. So after having all of those services, I know there's some that you don't have. Like I know you don't have Nintendo, or you probably do. You have Disney Plus?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, you have Disney Plus and you have Hulu
Mm-hmm.
and you have Netflix.
Yep.
Dude, you got
And I and I have and I have access to Paramount, but I don't pay for that.
do you pay and do you have Amazon Prime?
No.
Okay. So there's a couple that that you don't have.
Yeah.
But you see where I'm going with this.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's getting too expensive. And don't be surprised if more and more companies are going to pull away and have their own streaming service. I'm not interested in doing that, because once again, I want control, and I should have the right to have a say on something that I'm paying for.
But the funny thing is that these streaming services, the one thing that they're willing to pay for content now. They'll pay for content. Like I think Amazon. I know Apple Plus has I think they have access. I know they have MLB games that will be on there. I think Amazon is trying. I think they either bought or trying to buy Thursday Night Football. Like these things, this stuff ain't going away.
Okay, but okay, look what this says, right?
Mm-hmm.
According to the Business Insider report, the move is designed to incentivize developers to continue to make free to play titles, giving them a way to monetize them. I think you said something similar in your article, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is going to make gameplay, well, I should say, content even worse. We're already having incomplete games already.
Mm-hmm.
We're already dealing with incomplete games. We're already dealing with, you know, games that's not finished. We're dealing with, games that's missing content and then they'll add it, later.
Mm-hmm.
All of this is, to me, in my opinion, is anti-consumer. Is anti-consumer. And now you want to continue to add more of an inconvenience. And once again, this is the reason why that I'm just pushing myself further and further away from the gaming industry, because I do not like where the gaming industry is going. And I really wish that Sony would just freaking ignore what Microsoft is doing with Game Pass and just continue to do what made your brand successful. Deliver good games, make great games, and people are going to buy it. That's what's going to happen. People are going to buy it. Why? Because they're not available on Xbox Game Pass. It's only available on your console. People will continue to buy your God of Wars, your Horizon, etc., etc., etc. People are going to buy your stuff. People are going to buy Gran Turismo. Same thing with Nintendo. People are going to continue to buy your Zeldas and your Mario's and your Smash games and your Mario Kart games. Just continue to do what you do. Make good games. Why is it that you have to constantly follow what Microsoft is doing? Why?
Because they don't want to get left behind.
Left behind on what?
They don't want to get left behind. Because I mean, all this stuff that you're saying, oh, don't ignore what Microsoft is doing. They did that with the PS3, and it almost cost Sony.
What do you mean?
Like Sony created the PS3 because they thought that they had enough power to make to pretty much the PS3 is the hottest thing right now. You know, that's it. But Microsoft said, "Yo, we're gonna make a console that is may not be as strong as the PS3, but it's easier to develop for, and you don't have, and it's gonna be available. It's gonna be available a year before." Sony was like, "No, we're not worried about them," and it almost bit them in the ass.
Well, that's because the console was just too expensive.
Yeah, and
That,
Sony and someone at Sony said, "I think people will get a second job to get a PlayStation."
oh, really? Oh my
They were
gosh.
and they were wrong about that.
So
They were
here
wrong
it's
about that.
so here it says the goal is for the ads to appear like they are part of the game. Okay. All
Oh,
right.
so pretty much, yeah. So it's pretty much like, oh, like billboards and sports stadiums and stuff like that.
Okay. You continue on. I want to show something real quick.
Hmm.
But you continue on. I have to bring something real quick. Yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Um, for me, I just like to me, I just don't. I just think that if you're going to do this, right, and to me, like the games have to be good, and it's shown that these games aren't good. They're not good. Look what happened to Halo. Like Halo, they had an announcement about a whole bunch of new content and stuff like that, and it's stuff that should have already been in the game in the first place. And the reason why a lot of that stuff is not is because they decided to go with a free to play model. And I don't know if it's going to hurt the game overall. Like I know it's hurt the game currently, but I don't know if it's gonna. I don't know if they can bring all those people back for season 2 or season 3 or whatever, right? Like I play once in a while, so I like the game. But the problem is that the game, according to a lot of Halo veterans, is incomplete. And the reason why it's incomplete is because they decided to go with a free to play model. And to me, like I don't mind free to play game to an extent, but when that practice bleeds into games that you're spending $60, $70 on. When it bleeds into games that either you're paying 60, 70, or games or games that you're willing to pay 60 or 70, then it's like, man, it's like it sucks. It sucks because it gives them the autonomy to give you less. Because they can always sit there and justify it by saying, well, did you pay for it? No. No. It is what it is. You know what I mean? And to me, it's just like, the reason why I'm against it is because, like I said, like I have these subscriptions, and I don't want to wait watching a fucking ad, and I don't give a fuck what reward you give me. Like I think I read that in the article. I don't give a shit about a reward that you give me. Like I don't want a reward for watching a fucking ad. I just want to play my games. Now I don't have a problem if you put ads in like billboard. Like, I don't care. Like I'm not looking at that type of stuff. So that part don't bother me. But it's when I'm about to start a game or go to a new level, and then you're gonna throw an ad in there like it's YouTube. Like I'm not for that at all. But what would stop Microsoft from doing that to Game Pass games? Because at the end of the day, they can always justify it by saying, "Well, we're giving you a $60 game, and we're not, and you're able to play it day one. So what are you complaining about?" So I'm very interested to hear how Phil Spencer justifies it. You know, what I mean, because like I said, he's been pretty quiet. I mean, I don't follow him on Twitter, but he's been. It seemed like he's been pretty quiet. Normally I would see one of the Xbox dudes, like, retweet his stuff or whatever. And like I said, I don't have a problem with Phil Spencer, but I do feel like from time to time he comes off as very much the type of guy who likes to hear people clap for him. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
yeah.
All right. All right, I'm bad. I'm back because I wanted to show something real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Let me adjust the light so people could see better. Let me see. Increase the brightness. Okay. I wanted to show something real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this you can see this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. This is a Ultimate Spider-Man comic that I have.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, as you are reading page after page after page, like so, you're reading and what have you, reading and reading and reading. Now, as I'm turning the page, they have an ad. I don't know if you can see it, but it's basically Transformers,
Mm-hmm.
on here, and
Yeah.
and in the back of the book they have an action figure of Spider-Man,
Mm-hmm.
and let me do one more, and basically another basically a different series
Mm-hmm.
as you are reading. Now, a lot of people would basically say, well, when it comes to when it comes to comics, they do the exact same thing. For me, if let's say Sony makes Horizon,
Mm-hmm.
and let's say they want to make an ad, for Horizon 2, or let's say downloadable content for Horizon or anything like that.
Well, before you finish, the baseball game that I play, MLB The Show, they do exactly that. They for the longest time they have a billboard, and once the new game comes out, they have a billboard showing the new game, and they advertise the new game.
Do you mind that?
No, it doesn't bother me.
Okay.
It doesn't bother me.
Okay. Now, this is the same thing when it comes to Street Fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in Street Fighter, do you see this number? You see the number 3, on the on the book, right? It says number 3, which means it's the third issue.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as you're reading through the book, it actually there's a small little ad that basically says, "Okay, look, here's number 4." Do you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, ads like this, I don't really mind too much because you're basically advertising your own video game,
Yeah.
your own video game. But if what you're trying to do is the exact same strategy that these stupid mobile games are doing, where let's say you're downloading Angry Birds, but yet they give you an ad of you know, of Candy Crush instead. You know, you see ads of Candy Crush, you see ads of, you know, um, um, I don't know, you know, Tetris or something like that.
Mhm.
That stuff annoys me. That stuff annoys me. When you are playing a video game and you're playing a Spider-Man game and you have ads of a Spider-Man, you know, downloadable content, extra content, you know, ads of a part two, a part three, a sequel, I'm okay with that. But
Mhm.
if you're going to be, you know, having ads of all these, you know, different types of games, that's not what I want. But at the end of the day, though, this is what happens when you are in favor, when you embrace subscription services and, you know, digital products instead of actual, you know, the physical stuff. I don't like where the gaming industry is going. I don't. And we are constantly losing more control, and we no longer have a say either. Because I guarantee, regardless of how much backlash that Microsoft and Sony is probably going to receive, they're going to ignore it and continue to do what they're doing because it's going to continue to make them money. That's why.
I'm
That's
interested
why.
to see that because, like I said, I don't know if you heard me, but the whole thing with Phil Spencer is supposed to be this pro consumer guy and all the other stuff. I do wonder how he's gonna justify it. I do wonder, but
So overall, you are not in favor of this, right?
no, because even with games even with smaller games on my phone, like I said, I don't really play game. I don't game on my phone like that. But even with
Hmm.
like games like Solitary or Word Feud, every time I make a move or every time I do something, there's an ad.
Yes, and that stuff annoys me.
That's annoying. I can deal with it there because I'm not paying for this. But if I'm paying for a game, even if I'm paying for a subscription, like I don't like the idea of my gaming being interrupted by an ad. That I have to wait 5 seconds before I can, get cancel it so I can continue playing my game.
Yes, and you notice how a lot of these ads, they don't even give you the option to skip anymore until you watch the whole entire ad.
Exactly.
Again,
That's,
that's
and
once again us losing control. We no
and
longer have
Google
control
Google
anymore.
Google did it with YouTube You know what I mean? And they have this Google YouTube Plus thing. I don't know. I forgot what it's called. But I mean, it is what it is, man.
Well, yeah. Well, ever since Google bought it, that this is basically what it turns down to.
Hmm.
And
So yeah, no,
but
go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah, yeah. One last, you know, thing. Um, dude, this is just, you know, it's really pissing me off. Like it really is pissing me off. The one of the reasons why I kind of stopped playing, you know, mobile games is because of the ads.
Hmm.
It's just too annoying. And I could understand if there's like one ad, you know, two ads. I could understand that. But when there's a freaking ad every time when you play, you know, 2 minutes of the game and then there's another ad, like every 2 minutes, like every 2 to 5 minutes, you're gonna give me an ad. Like, dude, that's annoying.
Yeah.
I can't enjoy the game anymore. I don't want this to happen in console gaming. I
And the thing,
don't.
and the thing with me is that I would prefer if a game, let's say if because obviously we all know that not every company is going to um is going to succeed if they use this model, right? Like I get it, right? But this is capitalism. Like it's a dog eat dog world out there, and the gaming industry is no different. But to me, if you're going to make a free to play model, I get it, but you have to make sure that you're not trying to force people into paying for it. Cause that's what a lot of free to play games do. Like they try to force you to buy stuff. And to the point where you're buying like colors or armor or anything like that. To the point where you're paying more for the game for the in game content than you are if you had just bought the game for $60 and gotten all that stuff. Anyway.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So like I said, I like I don't hate free to play games, but we know what they're there for. And to me, I rather a full fledged game, and I don't mind paying $60-$70 for a game. Like I said, if the game's worth it, I'll even pay more than that.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, I just want to pay for for quality. You know, I just want to pay for quality. Like I said before, when it came to Game Pass, and I have Game Pass, right? And I don't hate Game Pass, but the thing is that I don't invest in Microsoft, exclusives and to the same level that I do with a PlayStation One. I don't have the same
Hmm.
expectation. I don't have the same. I see it more as just a luxury, an extra. When I pay $60 for a Sony game or $70 for a Sony game, I have the expectation that the game should be good.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And with Microsoft, I don't feel the same way. But even with all that, if I'm someone who plays Halo, I would be pretty upset if they decided to take the free to play route and remove content that's been a staple of the Halo franchise for years.
Yes.
I would be upset with that if I were them. I would be upset with that if that was them. If I was them. And like I said, I know that game would have been far more complete if it wasn't free to play. Far more content, far more complete if it wasn't free to play. But since it is, they decided, what, we're only going to concentrate on the essentials and we'll concentrate on the rest later. And I do think that bit them in the ass. I do think that bit them in the ass. But
I wanted to say this one last final thing.
hmm
You said Sony has to follow because they don't want to be left behind.
hmm
Okay, but if they are going to add ads into their games, something tells me that they their PS Plus or whatever it is that they have
hmm
is going to be almost the exact same way how Microsoft Game Pass is like right now.
well, I'll tell
Where
you this. I'll tell you this right now. If I pay full price for the game, I don't want to see intrusive ads.
I agree.
I don't want to see it.
Yeah,
And I
this is
know I don't want to feature for essential or for the top tier for PlayStation Plus to be ad free. I don't want to see that shit. Because
oh
I'll be damned. I'll be damned if I'm paying money for these games and I see an ad that keeps me from playing the game.
exactly.
I'm not dealing with that.
Unfortunately, though, for me, I wish that Sony would just say, you know what, you do your thing, because I honestly believe that if Sony never did anything about countering Xbox Game Pass, I think people would still buy the console anyway and still buy their games. I could guarantee that you would have bought the PS5 even if they didn't have PS Plus.
Yeah, of course. But
Yeah,
there's a lot of people out there, content creators, Xbox fanboys, but I expect that from Xbox fanboys, content creators, journalists with quotation marks, who criticize Sony for not having an equivalent.
so it's just added pressure, pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, this is where we are when it comes to gaming. I'm not happy with this whatsoever. And uh dude, we could only time will tell to see how far this is going to go, because I'm telling you right now, if this is going to be the exact same duplicate of how it is with mobile gaming, and it's going to be like every 5 seconds of interference, and you're forced to watch the whole entire ad, I'm 100% done with video games.
It to me it depends on how intrusive they are. If I have to see an ad every time I pass a level, then I'm done too. Cause
Yeah,
I'm not dealing with that bullshit. Especially
yeah,
if I'm paying money for it.
yeah. I'll be done, and I'm just gonna be playing, old school games. That's all I'm gonna be doing.
Yeah.
Catching up on my old games. That's it. But anyway, this was, oh man, almost 4 hours. So
This could be the longest podcast we ever done.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But I enjoyed, the podcast a lot,
Hmm
and we will continue on with next week with our regular schedule. I have a couple of days off. I'm not working, a lot of doubles this week.
hmm
So I'm going to be finally doing my I'm gonna do a video, regarding, with Marvel, and the video, with the soccer players, because I know you said you rather have me just do it on my own.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to be making, a couple of videos this week. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
Nephew, McKinley, Malta, appreciate you all for watching. I know I know this was a very long time. Most of you probably went to sleep,
Mhm.
but this is the Traditionalist 101 signing out. Have a good one.
Movie 186. I'm out. Peace.